the time we're just giving it a minute.
Yep. We're going right now though.
Sweet.
All right, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of PubTalk here. I'm your host here, Chase Wilson, and we got two very special guests today. I can't wait. I've been waiting all week for this. Jordan's got some really exciting news. But before we kick off with that, guys, I got a few sponsors I'm going to throw out here. First one being Galaxy Garage, a new starting business here. They do garage cleaning and exterior home cleaning, gutter cleanouts, junk hauling, dumpster cleaning, surface cleaning. I've been sharing their stuff on Facebook, guys that do a phenomenal job. If you've seen any of those videos of them cleaning concrete and what have you, man, they're doing a phenomenal job. So get a hold of them. Their number is 317-445-7776. So I'm not repeating it. You can rewind it. But we also got some more shout outs, guys. I got Wilson Timber Consultants. Get a hold of them for any timber needs that you need, any land clearing, logging, any kind of consultants, estimates, what have you. Make sure you get a hold of Wilson's Timber Consultants for that. We got Iron Benders Fitness with Simeon Stearns. If you guys are interested in starting to go to the gym or maybe you want to switch gyms, Simeon's an awesome guy, phenomenal facility, brand new equipment, everything's tip-top shape, nutrition, he'll get you on point. So get a hold of Simeon down there at Iron Benders. We got Perfect Day Cafe just down the road here from the studio. If you guys are looking for a good little meal, breakfast, coffee, they got all kinds of coffee. You guys can hit them up, and we got some construction going on down here, but don't let that stop you from supporting these local businesses. So that'll be it for my part, Jordan. Let's get to this because I'm super stoked.
Everybody, this is my dad, my corner man.
Hey, thanks for having me.
No problem. Thanks
Awesome
for
to
coming
be here. Great place.
Thank you.
Been on the journey with me for, ever since I was a kid, obviously.
Ever?
Raised me, yeah, forever. So he knows the journey and the process. Also, we come up with the game plan together. We just do it all together. So glad to have him on here with us this time.
Awesome.
Now I got to ask before we go any farther. What's it like seeing your son in that cage?
So before we get to the cage, I'm playing the dad role, right? I'm nervous. I'm asking Jordan question after question after question. Sometimes I think I irritate him, but once we get there, right? It's time to be the corner man. It's time to, get prepared and get his mindset. Make sure he's got everything that he needs. So it's a little bit of dad, but then a lot of corner man. So then when it's over, it's just like, oh yeah, So it's we've not even done a complete two rounds in B2, so it's been over pretty quick. But the first fight to the second fight, we learned so much. There was so much there to pay attention to, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then the second one just flowed so much easier. So
Dad was actually at my last Street Beast fight. He cornered me in my last Street Beast fight against the
Great White.
The Great White.
Yeah, the Great White.
So he kind of saw the transaction from what I was fighting and, how.
I don't know how you did that, man. To go in there and, like you say, simulate murder in a mud floor, dude. I don't know how you did that.
But if you watch that last day I fought, if you watch the two fights that happened that day, it was in sand. And those guys were getting sand in their eyes, so then they had to pick up the cage and move it over.
So hella cage for you. That floor is like valet.
It's
like rolling on red carpet compared to sand.
It's so much better because that's what I practice on.
Yeah,
mat all the time, so I'm used to it, man. And then
much different.
I gotta give them a lot of props too, because that B2 fighting series, man. Just from watching the pay-per-views, I haven't got to experience it live yet, but I will.
Oh man!
And just watching them, the way that they lay out that entire program is so professional. They're killing it, man.
It's a class act. It's a class act.
Me and Dad get there early every time, and I go, go check my weight as early as I can. They have the scales out way early. And we got to watch them set it up, man, and it's like crazy, dude. It's like how you've seen on like the UFCs, they'll show like a quick relapse of how they build up the thing, and it really is just like that, man. They're just bringing piece by piece, putting it up,
it's crazy,
having a good time. It seems like they're all just chilling, having a good time, talking, doing this, taking little breaks,
There's not a worker in B2 that seems like they don't want to be there.
They're
so excited, so friendly. It is it's a brotherhood. It's a
Yeah.
camaraderie. It's a family.
Oh,
I
I'm
mean,
sure, yeah.
The guy that runs it, his name is Hard Rock, and he's just been super cool to us. Just made sure we had everything we need. You walk back in your locker room, and you know exactly which locker is yours because you got a giant poster of yourself up there.
Oh, that's awesome.
You
man.
get to keep it too. I got
No
I
kidding.
got both mine. Yeah.
Hey
Hanging
man, they
up.
got the studio now. Let's hang
Yeah.
one of them up, dude. I
Yeah.
gotta get that. I gotta
Do
get
like
one
me and
of
like
them.
poses.
If we
and
could
stuff.
find, maybe if we can get a copy of it, man. I'd
That'd
love
be
to have
cool.
one. Like,
Yeah, I'm sure we
right
could probably do
here.
something.
Got
like
some
that.
pictures even you can hang up.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
yeah.
Send them over to me. Actually,
Yeah,
I
we
can
got-
get them put
yeah.
on a canvas.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Dad
But
actually
yeah,
does
man.
a lot of that stuff for me too. So what Dad's been working on a lot here lately is my sponsors. He's been helping get me sponsors. He's getting the logos done. We're gonna get T-shirts done. We're gonna get this. Hopefully before the next fight, I'm gonna get a big huge banner to put behind me.
Awesome.
Have it saying Scipio and all that good stuff. But also this podcast name on there, all that good stuff.
That'd be
So we're
awesome.
working to get all that together and just kind of working deals out with the sponsors. That
And you got to thank them a lot, man, because we're running the racetrack down here, man. I'm telling you, in today's world, without sponsors, it's hard to get anywhere. You know what I mean? It's hard to get recognized. It's hard to get the fundings to
Yeah.
go do things.
makes you feel like you're appreciated for
exactly,
what you're doing.
exactly.
Helps you out.
And they don't ask for much for a kickback. Just having their name out there,
Yeah.
is thanks enough.
Yeah.
So, you guys got any other sponsors you're throwing out? I mean, let's shout
Well, I
them
work
out.
for the Galaxy Garage Cleaning Service. Me, Isaac Bright, and Bobby Tarr all started this business together. So I work as hard at this as I do the cage. So it's going to be a good, clean job. We've been pretty busy with it. I always got to give a shout out to Papa's Grill. They always fuel me up, man. I be eating there every day, and my barber shop, keep me fresh looking. Gil's Barbers out there in Columbus. He's from Scipio. That's why I like him, but he's out in Columbus, and there's all those local loves out there. I'd be shouting out on Facebook and stuff, man. And
Yeah,
I
you
really-
get a lot of love here.
Yeah, I appreciate it, dude. Yeah, I love the localness, man. It's really cool.
I'm super glad I can help you out with that, man. That's
Yeah.
been my goal since we started this journey.
Yeah.
So, anything I can do, let me know.
Yeah.
So without further ado, Jordan, what's the big news? Let's hear it, because, man, I can't hold it in any longer.
So we were trying to get some fights, right after the next day after that fight I just had. I was back at practice. Yeah, it was me. AJ showed up, and another guy who was at the fight, Derek. He came and watched me. It was just us three that showed up with my professor, Mike Brown, and I was like, "Where's everybody at?" He's like, well, "They all stayed up late going to your fight." I was like, "I was there."
And you're there practicing.
AJ's my corner, and this guy came and watched. And he's like, "I don't know." So we just practiced. Had a good time that day. He kind of just let us do whatever. We just enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because I go there and I kill myself every day.
It's nice to have a fun role.
Oh yeah, but I knew in my mind that me and Dad were already thinking June 25th we're gonna fight Louisville. We're gonna get it so close to home, man. I wanted everybody to be able to come watch it, and I wanted a big name. If you saw my interview, I called out a top 10.
Yeah.
Well, within a couple of days, I'm ranked number 5.
Yep.
So it kind of threw me off. I was like, well, now I definitely need a top 10. I want to prove that I deserve to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to, I want to do the process right. So I've been calling out this guy for a minute, Daniel Kilburn.
Mm.
I tried to fight him last card, but he was smart and he took a fight that would get him higher ranked.
Yeah.
But he went the distance and it didn't quite impress him enough. So he got ranked number 8 and I got ranked ahead of him because I guess I impressed him. And
Well, first round finishes tend to do that.
yeah, but he fought that same card. He fought that next day, and I was like, well, I'll call that guy out again. Surely he's got to take it, because now he's ranked, I'm ranked. Seems fair. And
Somebody's car going down the road, I think.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Scared me.
So I called him out again, and he's like, nah, he don't want that fight. So he's fighting the number 10th ranked guy now. And I waited a few days. Me and Dad were just patiently waiting because that's kind of how you got to be with B2, man. You just wait on a name. He literally will only send me a name. Every time I got these fight names, he'll just send a name. That's it.
He is so to the point.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that's how I like it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
absolutely.
I say, yes, sir. That's me. I don't care who they say.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But I am fighting. And he gave me a name not long ago. I was actually at Dad's house when I saw it, and I come running downstairs, man. But I'm fighting Jacob Lemasters, and he's ranked number 2. So surely this fight right here
Let's go.
will get me a title shot.
This is the challenge
Yeah,
that
this
you've
is
been
the-
wanting right here.
So we did do a little studying. we watched the videos. He's 3-0, which I really like. Someone's alwa's got to go. This is the match that I've been really waiting for because, like, everybody tells me, like, it don't matter, the record and this and that. You go out there and win, this and that. But, like, I go back and look at, like, I think, who have I really fought, Nobody with ground game, nobody with a record as good as mine, because I count street beefs, and, I don't think anybody's got a record as good as mine. Even, like, I appreciate these last dudes that fought me, these last two. Like, I just knew I was levels above these guys.
Oh, yeah.
And I think, I really match up well with this guy. But I was excited to have someone who's on a winning streak, who is 3-0, who could say they, they're on the good side of fighting right now. That way I can take that this time.
Yeah.
That way I can feel like, I did take it from somebody who's been putting this in.
Right.
From what I see, though, he's got a little Kentucky wrestling, bub, and you know how I feel about Indiana.
Yeah, but this is Indiana.
This is Indiana wrestling, bub. We're Southern Indiana. We're closer to Kentucky, but it ain't Kentucky. But other than that, man, I don't see any threats, man. I'm not gonna throw out too much of the game plan, man. But
No, definitely.
you also know the game plan don't change much.
We'll have
for
a
Gas
post
Day.
fight for sure.
Oh yeah, game plan don't change much though. Like I feel like I'll be where I'm strong at. I'm gonna stay strong at. And we keep them with the workout routine we've been doing and the diet plan. Actually, we've upped more things since the diet plan. Dad's been helping me out with. We got the beet juice I've been working. Man, it's helping me out a lot.
It's crazy because a lot of people don't realize how nutrition plays a huge factor in the athleticism.
And we try to stay natural as can be too, and it's crazy how natural stuff can help you. Like the beet juice is not just beets.
It's crazy how expensive it is to eat natural.
Yeah, that's why these sponsors help out a lot, man.
Yeah, absolutely, that's what I'm saying, man.
Gotta stay healthy for these fights.
Your nutrition's important, but what really pays off is your consistent nutrition, doing it day in and day out, and you start paying dividends. And we're big George St. Pierre fans, and we always listen to him, and he always talks about every camp he did. He tries something new. One thing that always comes in particular is he tried ballerina once for balance, right?
Yeah.
Before a fight. I think it was against Frank Trigg.
Yeah.
But he said that was one of the most substantial things that he added in his training camp.
Oh, yeah,
so he's just
crazy.
keeping it fresh all the time. Of course, we all know George St. Pierre, one of the greatest,
Oh, yeah.
if not the greatest of all time.
For sure. One of the best. I think he's considered top 5 pound for pound fighter for
And
sure.
we try to keep up with stuff like that, and we've been watching a lot of stuff like that and adding new stuff. And so I feel like we keep with the same game we plan on going, and this win's coming home with us. And for sure, title shot afterwards, man. How can you not? My title's vacant. My title's vacant right now. There's only one other guy ahead of me. I'm not going to call him out afterwards because, who else is there?
Right.
They better keep that belt away from me because I'll probably grab it and throw it over my chest.
Well, after this win, it's going to be undeniable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially if I finish, man. I feel, I'm not going to try to get too cocky, but I'm feeling confident. This is the most confident I've ever felt coming into a fight. I feel good. I feel like the process has been going right, man. I just, the game plan's been working. I feel strong. And I've been getting better myself. And I know that I'm fighting guys at my gym that are tougher than this dude. I know it for a fact.
Yeah, there's a lot of tough guys at that gym.
A lot of tough guys. And I know if I can put up with these guys,
What's funny is because I went to Browns a couple times and rolled around, and this dude rolled with somebody that's like 250 and just climbed their neck, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can't imagine what it's like to finally get in there and go against someone your own weight.
Yeah.
Because you're used to training with people
Oh,
that
yeah.
are.
And I've always been that way ever since I've been young. Brett Shaddy, Mark Collette, James Calm. Those are my friends. So when I was at wrestling practice, I wanted to hang out with them. So I'd always wrestle with those guys and be with bigger guys. I think that's what made me stronger.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Also better, now.
You gotta be.
Now that I'm older, it's just like nothing to me. I'm used to rolling with guys that big, man.
Right.
I roll with anybody.
It's funny, we'll roll at the house sometimes, right? We have Mass down there, and I'll be on top of him. I'll go for about 60 seconds and count me out, right? But I'm down there, and I'm really thinking I'm doing something, and I'm giving it 100%, and then I happen to look down at his face, and he's just looking up with a smile, right? Like, this is not going to work. You're going to have to do something different because I'm about to choke you out. And, so
It's okay. He did the same thing to me, man.
Yeah,
We started rolling, and next time I
Yeah.
couldn't find him. I was looking. I was like, "Where is he?" And then he's wrapped around my throat, and I'm like, "Oh, there he is."
feel like he ain't got no legs, and can't push off anything. So, but that just goes to show you where he's at in his game.
Oh, absolutely.
And
I think the one thing too, because we mentioned this, me and you were talking the other day, is you said that it's going to take somebody who's they're legitimately going to have to beat you on the ground before you even.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if anybody out there knows this. This dude's got hands. I mean, he has not showcased it yet, but they're there. I promise you. And like
I
you
showcased
said,
a little bit in Street Beast, my very first fight. You know, I showcased a little bit, but that was just muddy, man, slippery. It's kind of sketchy, so I didn't want to do a whole lot. And then my middle fight, I just took old boy down. I knew he was boxing champ, man, so I just.
That was Butterfly, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just want to
But
take.
that fight was called due to punches, right? I mean,
Yeah,
the
it was
ref
TKO.
stopped it, right? So.
But then my last fight, you know, it went down to the ground a lot, but I did throw good combos. I did connect with him a 1-2 combo pretty well.
It was cracking me up, dude. Because I had a party down at the house, and we were all watching it. And that dude sprawled on you, and once you fought back and you ended up getting his back and everything, I seen you was trying to get the choke in, and like me and all my buddies, I was like, dude, you can hit him.
Yeah.
Like, you can hit him, dude.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it wasn't even a split second after I said that. There was the 1-2,
Yeah.
and then I seen it open up. I'm like, dude, it's over. It's over. It's done.
I just think grappling for the most part, man. I just want to get out there.
It's
and
going to
choke.
take someone who's, I mean, honestly, truly, they're going to have to outright beat you on the ground. I mean, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it,
I'm
man.
excited for that day, man. You know, the challenge is always fun, dude.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I know it's gonna suck to lose one day, but it's always gonna be.
You don't really lose, though. You either win or you
Yeah,
learn.
I'll
Yeah,
get
nobody
better.
walks out there a loser.
Yeah.
Nobody. You just get in the cage, right?
Yep.
You've done something that a lot of people wouldn't even consider. So.
You have, and I'm not dogging nobody, but man, I watched that fight card, and there was probably like, I would say maybe 45% of some of them guys that just weren't, they just didn't look, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, they were ready, but they weren't ready. You know what I mean? Like, and then like you watch all these fights walk out. I'm watching all these guys walk out, and you can tell, dude. I mean, I know people's got nerves. That's a big deal just to even step in
Oh,
the
yeah.
cage.
Sure.
You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Really big.
But then the camera goes to you whenever you walk out, dude. And you're just like, dude, it looked like you're just ready to murder someone, and you're in the
Yeah,
ring just
ready to
pacing
go.
back and forth, just
Yeah.
not even like, just in the zone, dude.
Yeah.
And that separated you, just from my eyes, from everybody else. Because it's, I mean,
cool.
seriously, man, because you could tell, even
I'm ready to
dude,
go.
the commentators were still talking about you as you were submitting this guy. I'm serious. Did you watch the replay?
Oh, yeah,
The
I love it.
commentators were
Yeah.
literally in the middle of a conversation
I love
about
it.
talking about you, and they're like, "Oh, he just tapped." It's like they weren't even done with their conversation. You know
I
what I'm
needed to make a
saying?
point there, you know, Dad.
Oh gosh.
Me
This
and Dad,
kid.
you know, we really talk a lot in the hotel room, going in head. And,
Absolutely.
Dad was saying this kid's gonna be young. He's gonna come out there and get in my face right away. We need to make a point here. This kid should not be in there with you. Like, get out there, get it done. And I'm glad we did. Got me ranked number 5 and got me a number 2 ranked fight. You know, so the process is just going.
I was
perfect.
very surprised when they read that kid's record off when he came from Saudi Arabia. I was really surprised because I mean, he was what, 19?
He was 19.
19 years old, and he had 17 fights.
17
and I was
and 2.
like,
The rules are a little different over there where he's
Yeah, I'm
from.
sure.
But, you know, it's a little more lenient. Than,
yeah, here you get choked out.
Absolutely.
Well,
he,
no,
he
like-
took it for granted. He
Yeah.
was back in a locker area pretty much the whole time, walking around, really overconfident. And I told Jordan, I said, this kid's going to come charging out of the gate.
Yep.
He's going to stand tall. And, you know, that's really the last thing you want to do with Jordan right there. And he learned that the hard way. He did come back after the fight to the locker and shook her hands. And he was humble in defeat, I must say. I think he learned a lot there.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, like the rules are different there. So like he may be able to fight when he was even younger. Like the rules, like here in United States, you got to be 18. You got to have doctors, all this and that. This and that. Over there, they're like get in the cage to fight.
Dude's like 2, got a 3-0 record.
Yeah,
It's a different world over
it
there.
really is. Man.
Yeah, they do all
But
kinds
they
of
got him
crazy
comfortable
shit.
in the fire, man. He's actually getting ready to fight in one of these cards coming up again. You know, he's gonna keep going for it, man. That's what you got to do. He'll learn and get better. He's gonna fight before that. You know, I didn't hurt him, so he's good to go. You
Yeah.
know, so he's gonna fight right away. I guess.
I think that's one of the better things about the fight game is if you're able to submit somebody, you know, and save yourself and them damage, you know, that's always a plus because
Yeah.
you hate to, you know, there's guys out there that, you know, I've seen in jiu-jitsu tournaments. You know, I've watched
Pretty
like
heavy.
the Fuji tournaments, man, where there are people that go out
yeah.
there to purposely try to hurt other people.
Oh, yeah,
man. I've
they do.
watched it.
Yeah.
And, you know,
I
just,
try not to be that guy.
well, you're not, man, because your submissions are so clean. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously.
If the technique's there, it shouldn't have to be done.
You've
Yeah,
practiced
but-
technique so many times. You know, your wrestling games helped you out.
Oh, yeah.
Transitions are insane, and you know, you haven't showcased any hands yet. I'm waiting.
Really working them.
But like you said, dude, it's gonna have to take someone to beat you on the ground for you to showcase, and I don't blame you whatsoever. You know what I mean? But if you're gonna catch those hands, you better be ready because those are heavy. But
If you're gonna sprawl on me, and you be the first person to get away, then you better be ready for the hands.
yeah,
You know they're coming.
absolutely. But yeah, man, it's I'm ecstatic. I'm ready. I'm
I
ready
am
to
too.
go.
We already got tables are already like getting bought out, so you
yeah.
better buy up because Dad's bought 2 tables of the
Yeah.
8-seated people
Yeah.
just for like people that we know.
How many seats are there? Do you know?
Well, they have a bunch of general admission.
Do they?
They have a bunch of general admission seats, and then they have 8-seated tables in the middle section, and then 2-seated tables like right there, cage side. And some of those got bought up. I mean, all of them are bought up now. Actually, all those are bought up, but some got bought up in my name, which is I really appreciate those guys. And if you do buy tickets, please put my name on the note section when you go out to the checkout.
Yes, and
Really appreciate
if you
that.
guys get on, so you can go to Facebook and get on B2 Fighting Series through there, and that will take you to their website. When you get on, it's because it's a little confusing because
It
I had
is.
trouble the first time.
That's what I've heard.
But when you get on there and you order that, there will be right before you order it, there's a list of names, and it will have the fighter's name, and it will ask you who you want your support to go to. Obviously, you're going to pick Jordan Gast.
Please and thank you.
I'm pretty sure he gets a kickback off that guy, so really
Thank you,
put that
guys.
down. Make sure you guys put his name down. And then a lot of people, like I had problems. Once I clicked your name, I couldn't figure out how to scroll down to click submit. You guys have to go all the way down to the bottom of your phones and move it up to see the submit button. If not, you won't be able to see it, and then you'll be lost. You can PM me on Facebook because Jordan's not going to have that kind of time. He's got to do other shit. But I will gladly walk you through how to order that. And if you really want to watch it, I'm going to be there for this one, so I won't be
Yes,
having a
thank you.
party. But
Yeah,
are we going to do the same thing? Is the garage and Papa's going to do the same deal this
Oh
time?
yeah. So I think I'll probably be too late in the card for Papa's. Papa's closes at 9.
Okay.
The bar will close at 9:30. I think I'm probably gonna fight past that this time. So we probably won't play it there. But the garage, yes, the garage will always be playing it. They're open up late. They'll have it ready to go. Typically, good
Phenomenal
music
bar,
there.
by the way.
Yes, good music playing, and they'll have the last time it was popping off there when my fight happened.
It was big.
You know, it happened quick, but everybody
Yeah.
was there. They're loving it all over, crowded over the TV. Some good bands.
Get a
played.
bunch of people drinking in one area. There's
yeah.
fights going on, dude. It's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
there you guys go. Like fight date's June 25th.
June 25th, Louisville. I believe it's connected to the Yum Center. It's one of the convention centers connected off to that.
Is it the Expo?
I think it is the Expo.
The Expo Center is different. That's huge.
I'm not for sure. It is
can
on the
tell you-
B2
I'll tell
card.
you real quick.
Go look it up. It is on the B2 card though, and thanks for explaining that, man. I have heard it's difficult. You know, I don't have to buy tickets.
Yeah,
Dad
yeah,
don't have to buy tickets, but
Unfortunately, I had to because I couldn't get off.
But
work.
buy tickets if you're gonna buy tickets, and because they're getting bought up, the tables are getting sold out. Place getting sold out. It's so that card got so big that he's now making a 2-day event
Friday, I seen that.
on Friday
awesome.
now.
That's awesome.
I'll still be on the Saturday card. Kind of been planning on that one. Told him that's the day I've been wanting, so he kind of got me on that card.
Which is awesome because you get this is adequate amount of time, guys. June 25th.
Yes.
If you're trying to go get your tickets now, it will be on a Saturday, so work's not an excuse.
We're about 5 weeks out, a little over. We've been counting down.
Let's go.
It's a Kentucky International Convention Center, which, like Jordan says, just right there, right off.
So it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's all together. So jump on 65, you'll be there in a matter of minutes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If you can't
It's
get
just
tickets
across the
to
bridge,
come,
right? The Expo
Yeah,
or the Yum Center is just
Yeah.
across
Yeah.
the bridge, so it should
Yep,
just be right
absolutely.
there. Yeah.
if you can't get tickets to come though, pay-per-views available as well. Same process with the name on that too. I really appreciate that. And watch it live, man. It's great to watch it live. I know
very
they come
fun.
out with a
It's
video afterwards, but like it's a whole different experience.
Yeah, you guys, trust me, you will not be disappointed, guys. The B2 Fighting Series, the way that they run their program on pay-per-view, I mean, it's phenomenal. They do a great job. They get awesome camera angles. The commentators are very
Oh, yeah.
educational, man. They're on it. Like, they know everything
good
about the
people.
fight
Yeah.
game. They're great people. They're honest.
And the
Very
fights are
fun.
up and comers
Yeah.
and that are hungry, man. So
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know, maybe it's not the best technique. Maybe it's, you know, they're still learning. but they're giving it their all. You know, you see some other guys you do see some guys out there that kind of give up. You know, that's the amateur league. But you see some guys out there going out there and giving it their all, man. This is what they've been fighting.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I enjoy the amateur series more than I like the professional
I like to
series.
watch those guys. We keep up on all
It's
of it.
like,
Really.
man, because like I'll watch like a UFC fight card and like the prelims and stuff. Very, very rarely you'll get some decent prelims, but like to make it to that league, man, like it's just kind of slow a little bit, you know. But versus if you were to compare a UFC fight card to an amateur fight card, I would pick the amateur fight card. Just me personally, man, because it's
more unexpected.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's unexpected. You don't know what's gonna happen.
And man, like, what percentage do you think amateurs will make it to the UFC?
Oh, it's very slim.
Man,
It's very slim. You know what I mean? So
you think of Jordan's first B2 opponent, Alex Cadell, the Goblin, right? Great kid, really.
had a good fight last fight.
He did. He got beat by Jordan. I mean, totally dominated, and then came back and didn't let one fight define him. He came back and he wound up winning, went the distance. Wasn't, I guess, the prettiest of fights, but, you know, there he is. There he is. He's hungry.
I was impressed when I watched his fight. 2 fights before yours, I think, 2 or 3. The leg kicks he was throwing, those were nasty.
Yeah.
The leg kicks he threw in the last one had old boy limping in the back.
Yeah. Good thing his shorts were long enough to cover that, because that thing was like a softball, man.
That boy was some Indiana man.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. I mean, props to him because he's a good fighter. I mean, he really is, man. But those leg kicks were just tearing him up.
Oh, brutal.
And it's crazy, man. Alex Caldwell's story's pretty cool. You know, whenever we were talking and he'd come and talk to you, or whatever. Like he doesn't even train that much. He just does it to do it. You know what I mean? And to come out there and have the balls to get into the cage.
Yeah.
And then do that to somebody. It's like, what?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that was cool. Just making friends in the progress. You know, not friends necessarily, but acquaintances, if you would.
It's always cool to meet somebody like that. And it kind of gives us somebody to watch, too, because then we'll go like, oh, well, they're fighting. We'll check that out.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's the crazy thing, man. This fight game, it's ever evolving. It seems like there's something new almost every week, you know, like when the buggy choke got real big, we was talking about that, that one time we was rolling.
People's been trying that on me like crazy.
Yeah, I know, right? Because it's just, somebody did it in a Fuji tournament, dude, and everybody's just like losing their shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like everybody's trying to do that. But that's how it is, man. There's some kind of new submission or something that was relevant in the past that's coming back. You know what I mean?
You think I would have learned all my wrestling, but I just learned the 2 weeks after my fight. My old coach, Coach Olds, Ty Olds,
No Ty.
he came actually to my gym to show me some wrestling, watch my fights. Like, man, I think, that is how I showed you how to wrestle, and that is how I showed you how to take shots. But he's like, I've kind of learned some other shots. I think this might help you out. I'm not going to give it what it is, but he's helped me out my wrestling. Now I have a whole new wrestling strategy I got.
He's a phenomenal coach.
Yes, he showed me
phenomenal.
something that's going to really help out a lot, and I'm going to showcase it this fight because it helps out with wrestling a lot. And it's always involved. I learned more wrestling. I was like, I didn't think I'd be learning more wrestling at this point. I thought I already knew it all, you know what I mean? I know I'm learning in jiu-jitsu. I'm going to be learning jiu-jitsu for a long time, but he comes show me more wrestling. I was like, man, Randy, that's crazy. You really are involved in everything.
Yeah, I remember back when Jordan first got Ty as a coach, right? I think that was the most impactful coach he ever had. He really started understanding the wrestling finesse and how everything was integrated. If you look at him now, he's got not just his wrestling, but his jiu-jitsu, right? So it makes him a deadly grappler.
He's very dangerous.
You can see it when he's in a move. He's thinking about the next move, right? So to be that good to apply those holds and moves efficiently, and then to be thinking about what you're doing next is amazing. It's
a fight IQ level.
It's art. It's a beautiful art.
Is.
It's you just sit back and you're fascinated. You kind of just lose track of time, and you're just locking in on it and seeing that beautiful flow of all that movement where he's evolved into this.
It's
grappler.
almost like anything that anyone does to you is wrong. You know what I mean?
That's what my guys were. So people that I train with at jiu-jitsu, I come back after the fight, and when I first shoot, I was under him. And typically when you watch somebody like that, they don't like to be there. People don't like seeing people there. And my guys at the jiu-jitsu center, when they saw that, they're like, Jordan's always there. And they're bigger guys than me. They're like, Jordan's always there. He always ends up on top.
That's what I'm saying. And you're used to getting out of that position from someone who has 75, 80 pounds on you.
I love being under people at first, man, and using one of my moves that I know. But it's great, and then they the confidence they have in me there makes me feel great at the gym. Man, they said they were watching the face-offs, like they knew then.
That's what I'm saying, man. You're completely uniquely different than all the 95% of them guys that I've been seeing on these cards, man. That's what I was saying. Like you can tell, like how we were talking on the last podcast, when you got these guys that are like bringing their girlfriends to their corner and shit, you know what I'm saying? And then like you come out, dude, and it's like Metallica, and you're like, dude, I'm gonna kill you. Like I'm legit. It's like you're not.
There's
walking
one
out
thing
there.
on my mind for that. I mean, for a long like I'm thinking about it now almost all the time. I'm catching myself doing my job and just be thinking about a couple of Masters, getting that win, getting that belt. I just think about it all the time, but. That especially the day of, there's one thing on my mind, and it's that we're in that hotel room thinking of what to eat to give me good energy, and to keep that energy flowing real good all day.
That's the nutrition.
I shower
part
before my fight
because
because I want to feel good. It's all for that fight that day.
We're probably averaging 30 hours between weigh-in and actual fight time, so it's a lot of time to get number one.
Feeling
food,
good,
and number two, get the G2s back in him like he likes. So
when you do the face off, it's like you said, 30 hours beforehand. And when this guy actually looked me in my eye this time, and we stared off for that whole time, man, it's just like a whole different feeling. You're like, man, this guy really does want to come out here and try to beat me. And it's that 30 hours you're just thinking, that's like, no.
yeah.
I don't know what they're thinking, stuff like.
it doesn't matter.
No, it does not matter. No.
All that matters is what you're thinking.
Exactly. So
We all know what you're thinking.
Yeah, I don't. I've seen those people bring them girls back there and stuff. But I've seen some other people be serious back there as well.
Right.
Or have like 12 people from their gym back there in a locker room, and they're just taking up space. And I guess really the only thing I can complain about with B2 would be that is they need a little bit more locker room discipline.
Yeah, because there's girls back there, and I gotta get that's what I'm gonna change. So I
that
have Dad and AJ line up in front of me to get naked because there's girls running around.
I just drop them, dude. That's their fault.
Get out of the locker room.
But that one guy his mom and dad were even coming back here. I think there were some aunt and uncles.
Dude.
I'm like, come on, we can't.
No
do
offense,
this, man.
Mom, but if my mom was ever there when I'm gonna go out and do what he's gonna go do, man, I don't think I'd be able to focus. There's just no way.
And Jordan's, I mean, 2-3 hours before the fight, he's back there. I mean, he's not really saying anything. I mean, you've said everything. You've done everything. Everything comes down to that point. Everything you worked hard for, everything you've taught yourself, new skills or refreshing up on, it's coming down to where you're going to execute those. So there's really not a whole lot to talk about other than getting your mind framed.
Yep.
So we're all kind of quiet in our locker room. Some of them are loud. Some of them there's a lot of activity, but we just kind of hang and just keep things on a low key. And he's like
If you watch when
2 or
I
3 hours
walk out,
before.
like he says, I'm pacing the whole time back there. We don't really talk a whole lot back
You're
there.
pacing a lot in the ring too.
Yeah.
But right before I walk out and get in my face, then I get to say goodbye to my cornerman. You'll see Dad say something to me there. It's real motivational. Like I'm not gonna repeat it because it's just that's
Absolutely.
But that's all that needs to be said. At that
That's
point.
it.
And
That's it.
once we're in the cage, you see a lot of these coaches screaming this, screaming that, doing this and that. But like he said, like at that point, it's up to me.
Yeah.
It's not. Just
He's there to be in your ear. If he sees something maybe you don't.
Yeah, that too.
Something like that.
And he'll have he'll be there ready, mouthpiece water, all that. He'll see that if I'm damaged somewhere, he'll be taking care of that damaged spot. But as of like him going out there and be like, you need to go out there and tear his head off. You need to go out there and work. Like he knows I know that. He knows like I know that we've been putting that work in, and he knows I'm gonna put the work in.
Yeah.
I haven't got to I've been in there barely 2 rounds over both those fights. So that's how I like it though.
Me too.
If he sees me
Me
slacking,
too.
if he sees me slacking off home, that's when he'll let me know.
Right. Right. That's good, man. That's awesome to have someone like yourself in that corner because, like you're taking that time to focus, get your mind straight and everything. Your corner's allowing you to have your time to get yourself together and get your game plan. You guys already know the game plan. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
I do see that. I see that with a lot of other fighters. They got the cornermen that are screaming and stuff, and it's they know what to do. They had a game plan walking into this. You study the other fighter. You find as much as you can on him. You already know what he will or might do.
I like the truth. Like if I'm getting beat up, Dad's gonna tell me like you're getting beat up. These other coaches have their strategy and how they do it, but like I don't like how they're like, you need to tear his head off. You need to go out there beat him up. You need to do this and that. Like, I don't want to hear all that. I want to hear like, hey, you're kind of getting kicked a lot in the legs. You know, be watching for that. You know, or
might
like,
be time to start checking those.
start checking those, man. Just be realistic.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
that's the time to be realistic. Like you say, if you're seeing something I'm not, let me know. You know,
That's another thing that aggravates me. I've been seeing that quite a bit too. Is like, you know, you'll get someone that's not been doing, you know, going with their game plan, and in between rounds, you'll see their coaches like in their face, like, "Are you gonna do?" Well, like, you know, like yelling and stuff. It's like, dude, if I got beat up, the last thing I want is you in my face screaming that I'm getting beat up or like need to do something different.
Different
Yeah, it's
that,
like.
you know?
Man, that short intermission between rounds is for you to catch your breath, get ice, get water, get your mouthpiece rinsed out, get cleaned up. Like those 30 seconds are so crucial. I don't need you freaking screaming at my face. You know, like that doesn't do anything. You know what I mean?
It may work for some people, but for me and him, we've already got our connection.
Right.
Yeah, the key is making sure that he's breathing. You know, getting those deep breaths and inhale and exhale, getting the mouthpiece, you know, wet, getting his mouth a little wet. And then just, you know, talking about a few things, and then let's go right back at it.
Yeah. You know what you're doing. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
And really, coaches hollering, quartermen hollering into the fights like that, does the fighter really even hear it? I mean, whether he's winning or losing, he's got
especially
his
if they're
mind
losing.
focused. Yeah,
You know what
he's
I
got
mean?
his
Like,
mind focused somewhere else.
You get someone that may, you know, get a little dazed. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
And then they get that 30 seconds or whatever it is to rest. They're not thinking about him screaming. They're thinking, damn, I just got the shit knocked out of me. You know what I mean? So it's like, this is one of those things that aggravates me. But like you said, everybody's different, man. Some people, you know, if you like going full drill sergeant on someone, some people might like that. I don't know, but I don't want to stress
We've
test.
never been like that, yeah.
It is one of the most craziest, hectic, insane.
The fight before yours, shoot, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The environment though is just the most.
Oh,
insane
dude, I heard all about it.
Walking into that cage and just it's the most intense thing I've ever done in my life, man. And like everything going on around you is just hectic, crazy. You got people hollering. You got
Dude, it
people
was so funny.
You hear at the very beginning of my fight, someone's like, "Beat his ass."
Pretty sure I was chasing.
It was, man. It was.
I could hear that actually on the watching
Chase,
it
you
through
could hear.
pay-per-view.
After I heard the video, like I could hear him like all through that, which I love it. I'm all about that. But he's like, "Kick his ass." It's like it's just all hectic, man. It's just like the whole
If you need
thing.
some loud motivation, man, Chase.
You know,
is the guy.
I know I'm up there being watched by like a lot of people just ready to watch me fight somebody else, dude. Like,
It's a rush. Remember coming out
Really?
the first time, the bright lights. You got to
yeah.
step
Mind
down,
you.
so everybody's kind of like watching their feet, making big steps just so they don't fall on pay per view. Right? We don't want to be the crew that fell on pay per view. But yeah, it's intense. It's a lot going on. But boy, is it awesome! It is.
And those
just
camera
awesome.
angles that they show as you're walking out,
awesome.
like, 'cause the moment you walk through the curtains, man, like when you're walking out, that the camera's on you. Like,
That's awesome,
we see you. We see the curtain spread. Like right when you walk out, it's on you, man.
We never get to see that, do we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
I
have
don't
to-
know if they do that in the replay.
They don't.
Or not, but
Nah,
yeah, when
the
it's
YouTube
live,
one.
man, I'll try to get it recorded live.
Yeah,
so you can
please
see
do.
when it's actually live.
We never see that.
Dude, it's phenomenal. I mean, I can't give their camera guy enough props to because he's like,
There's a bunch of them.
yeah, dude,
Bunch of them.
they're on it. Like it's a phenomenal promotion.
They treat
to
all
be
their
honest.
employees well, man. Take care of them.
Yeah.
I guess
So-
that's the only way to do it is if we he recorded or we bought the pay per view and watched it the next day. So
Yeah.
but
Well,
we've
if
never
it's-
got to see
if
that.
you watch the replay, did they have the replays on B2, don't they? Like you can go back and watch the previous fight card, or is it just like highlights?
Might be able to if you bought it. I don't know.
But you don't get the things that you're talking about. Though you don't get the entrance of the
Okay,
cage.
yeah.
You just get the fight. You know?
Yeah.
You'd be lucky if they show the announcements of the fight.
They didn't
Really?
show the announcement of my
Yeah.
last one. They
I'll
did my
be sure
first
to record
one.
this one because
Yeah.
if you could hear the last one, that shit was hilarious. Cause,
Oh, man.
because like after that, you know, the fight before yours, everybody was, dude, it was nuts.
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
mean, you know
guarantee
the
it.
environment.
Yeah.
I'm sure you heard it.
It was-
I mean,
oh, yeah.
everybody,
Yeah.
and then the families, dude, it was nuts. And honestly, I think they messed up because after he knocked that dude out. I'm pretty sure, like 99% sure, they were supposed to go to commercial break, and they didn't. And like the commentators were still talking, and like you could hear them talking, dude. And I was like, they were saying like a few things they might not. And then they showed the other guy, the guy that knocked him out, going over to the cage and just talking mad shit to that dude's family, dude. Like,
Yeah, that's what we heard.
oh, dude,
Yeah.
they were like, they were bull rushing the cage.
No way.
hilarious.
We heard
For
that, but we
real.
didn't. AJ had the curtain pulled back about that far, right? So we had like a 2-inch window that we could see.
Yeah. So that he got knocked out, man, and I guess like, which I'm not certain because I wasn't for sure there, but like coming from 3 or 4 people that were there, like that family kind of freaked out and was like talking mad shit, you know. And then when he
crazy.
knocked him out, dude, he went over to the cage. Like there was a hype up before the fight, I guess, like the two
Yeah.
families and whatnot, and I guess it like became like a big deal there. Like they were about to all brawl.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
like-
Yeah,
that's-
and that dude that knocked him out, like, went over to the cage. Dude was like looking at him, and he's like taking his mouthpiece out, dude. He's like, "Oh, you bitch made mother." I was like, dude, I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be on commercial break. Like,
That's hilarious.
it
And
was great, dude.
I mean, people
It's a
that wanna-
perfect build up for your fight because
Yeah.
you walked
Yeah.
out to a lot of energy,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
Jennings County was there, dude.
Yeah.
You could hear that over like anybody else that walked out. When you walked out, everybody's just like,
Yeah, we heard that.
there's everybody, and then there's Chase. You know what I'm saying? Like you could hear it, dude. It's funny.
They have it's a very safe environment. They
Yeah,
have
there's a lot of
security
security there,
and
and
things like that,
and those
so-
security know how to fight too. Man, they all have
Oh, I
cauliflower.
guarantee
Every
it.
one of them, almost all the workers, even the camera crew, have cauliflower.
Well, it's like, to me, it's like common sense. You know, I wouldn't go watch a live cage fight and try to fight someone in the stands because,
Yeah.
like, there's a lot of people there that
probably fight.
probably know a little bit more than
Yeah.
you.
Probably go to the gym with some of the fighters.
Yeah,
there, you know?
absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
I followed the referee of your fight on Facebook too. He's got a super cool Facebook.
Bobby Wambacher.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he does.
Yes, he
I also
does.
got Mooney
Yeah.
last fight. I've got both refs now.
Very good refs.
They are.
Yeah.
They're
They
very
are.
good referees.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
that
that.
whole series, man. It's just, I can't say enough good things about them. To be honest, like that's just a phenomenal series.
It is. It
I
is.
really enjoy it. I'm
I'm
happy
glad
to-
you're fighting for him.
I'm glad to be climbing the rankings up there, man. This next fight's such a build up, man,
Mm.
because, you know, we were talking about how some of my teammates looked at and, you know, other people probably looked at my face off and knew I was going to beat Nassar and, you know, Cadell, and they just looked at. But this next fight, you know, I'm hoping people look at it and be like, well, this might be a good matchup, you know, because the guy's 3-0. He's got a wrestler build. He's not out of shape,
Right.
You know, so like I'm hoping people be like, that way when I do win, people can be like, oh, hey, actually beat somebody, you know, like that's actually pretty worthy, you know. So I'm really liking the hype behind this. Maybe I'm hyping it up myself a little bit more, but
That's what this is for.
it's a good build up, I
Yeah,
think, man. Number
absolutely.
5 versus number 2. The belt's vacant, you know, in my division, and like I said, man, they better keep that belt away from me afterwards because it's gonna be hard not to call
That's
for a title
yours.
shot. Yeah, it's gonna be hard not to call a title shot after that, man. There's only one
Oh,
other guy.
absolutely. I mean, you deserve it. I
Yeah.
mean, seriously, man, to go in there in an amateur series like that and wipe 2 people out in the first round. I
Yeah.
mean,
I got the number
that's
8 guy.
textbook.
I got the
So,
number 8 guy dodging me. So like, you know, where else is there to go, man? There's only gonna be go way up, and if nobody wants.
well, eventually he can't dodge you. I
If
mean,
he keeps winning, yeah, he eventually can't. You know, we'll see how he does against the number 10 ranked dude. But if I get it, nobody wants to fight me there. I'll go down to the South Division and fight that champ there, man. We'll bring both belts home. You know, we'll do what we got to do. We'll bring the Genco down to Georgia, man. Do what we got to do.
fuck some Georgia up, man.
You know, I think the fan base is there, man. I
It
really
is.
appreciate you guys, man. I think if we were to get to bigger promotions or get even bigger places where we have to travel, you know, hopefully Vegas one day. You best believe James County's gonna be coming, man.
Dude, I might not come home.
That's hilarious. You know, James County, but Columbus, Southern Indiana, a lot of Southern Indiana's gonna be there, man. I know that.
Oh yeah, we've
They-
got
they
like
love
I
it.
said, 2 tables already, and I know the other people are getting tickets and things like that. It's going to be a lot of the gas tank fans
Good
going
deal,
Right there,
man.
close to home, baby.
That's awesome. Just across the bridge.
Yep.
The promoter loves that. He loves.
Oh.
You think about just seats and pay-per-views, right? I mean, he's making a killing off the bar tab, right?
Oh.
Because you know,
If we're there, I guarantee
Yeah,
it.
He
yeah.
knows that. He saw how loud everybody was getting during my fight, and then I noticed right after my fight, walking out of the cage, I could see my whole crew, you know,
drunk.
and you could tell right away drunk.
Yeah.
And he loves that. He's like, well, they've been buying drinks at the bar, man. That's where he's making the money. Loves that stuff, and he's even told me like he took me to the side last fight, man. He's the good promoter, man, and I think he could tell who to promote, and I think he knows and you can see the ticket sales too. And he told me like I'm making more than some of the pros on the ticket sales.
On the first fight, your
On
first
the very
amateur
first fight,
he
even
said
man,
that
he,
even,
and
so.
you know that's stuff he likes. I'm
Oh, I
sure
guarantee
he likes
that.
all fighters. I guarantee because he sees so many of, but he likes to see that even more. I
No, I'm
guarantee.
sure. Yeah.
And I can't, I can't thank you guys enough for that, man. And I'm glad to put on a show for y'all and gonna keep this train going. But
So
stuff
last
like,
time was good, but this next time,
Even
being on a
bigger.
Saturday, we better pack the freaking house, man,
even
because
bigger.
it's just across the bridge,
Oh yeah.
you know, and that's just a little bit more south than our stomping grounds. So
And you know, after party at Scipio, you already know. We always have a good time out there.
We do.
And it's summertime, man. It's gonna be good. I know the
Yeah.
last couple ones kind of cold, iffy with the weather. Hopefully this time, man, it's gonna be good weather.
yeah, absolutely.
Gonna be out there doing our thing.
Yeah. So make sure you guys are staying on top of these tickets, man, because they're gonna go fast.
Oh, they are going fast.
I haven't got to look because I wasn't for sure if you got the 25th card until just right now. Jordan got a hold of me last week when we was talking about this, and I absolutely refused to know any information until right now. So I didn't know any of this, but I'm
Not
gonna
a
buy
lot
my
of people
ticket
do.
right after this podcast is
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
And we're gonna get that going for sure. Cause Saturday, dude, I'm in. I mean,
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a
can
good
get
day.
off work on that.
Good
so.
day, and people, you know, they carpool, get together, have a good
Yeah,
time.
if I go, if anybody wants to ride with, let me know. PM me. I can get at least 3 other people with me. I'm sure we'll have those 3 filled by tonight.
Yeah, a lot of people go, man, and they have a good time. They got to eat beforehand, and then go to the fights. And you know, how can you not enjoy a night of drinking some alcohol and watching fights, and then knowing somebody? And
I'll be
watching
real
the fight?
honest with you, man. I have never witnessed a live cage fight.
Oh,
I've
dude.
watched avidly.
You're gonna
dude.
enjoy
I've-
it.
Yeah,
it's a
I already
blast.
know,
Yeah.
man.
Because I
I'm
get to
kind of
watch.
worried for myself. I might like it too much.
Oh yeah, jump in it, man. Just watch, yeah.
Even general admission, if you can't get a table or a VIP,
There's not a bad seat
It's not a
in that
bad seat
place.
in the house. There's really
The general
not.
Well, that being connected to that and having, I bet there's a lot of seating.
Oh,
I
tons
bet
of
there's
seating.
a lot of seating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, if the place does get sold out, there's the pay-per-view you can buy online. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
I have some buddies I always throw.
So like we'll have the pay-per-view guys, and like I said earlier in this podcast here, if you have problems renting that or have problems figuring it out, please get a hold of me, and I will walk you through that. It's just a tad confusing. It's nothing on their part. It's just the way that it fits on a mobile screen, because a lot of people will buy it on
Right.
mobile. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
like I had to because
Yeah.
I just bought it on my phone and then mirrored it to my TV.
Right.
And it was fine. But yeah, it's a tad bit confusing. So if you have any questions on that, please get a hold of me. And if you make it to that point, make sure that you click Jordan Gass's name,
Please.
so he can get that, because that helps him out. Not just with the kickback on money or nothing like that, but it also shows B2 that, man, he's selling
We're here,
pay-per-views.
yeah.
He's got fans. He's got a fan base that helps him out more
Yes.
than the money.
Yes, that helps
And
promote me.
that's kind of what we're here doing, man. That's
thank
you know, we're trying to build him up. We're trying to get him promoted. We're trying to get him out there. And no offense, but you know, you're always looking for more opportunity.
Oh yes.
You know, B2's great series. Like I said, man, we've been hyping him up. I can't say enough good things about him.
Yeah,
But
appreciate them.
you know, as a fighter in the fight game, man, you're always looking.
Oh, yeah.
You're always looking. You're always open for better opportunities.
I
And-
got big goals.
yeah, and that's what we're trying to do here for him, guys. Any chance you get like that, man, let's build him up. Let's get him heard. Let's get him out there. If there's anything I can do to help you any more than just doing the podcast,
Oh, dude, this
Be
helps out
glad.
so much, man. It just gets, us heard to a lot of voices,
Yeah,
people out
absolutely,
there.
man.
And
We're actually working on a gas tank brand right now. We're going to have at least T-shirts prior to this fight, and then after that, we're going to try to do more and more. And we're going to have those. Well, we'll let you know when they are.
Yeah,
you
let
can
me know.
advertise them, and people can start ordering those.
I tell you what, if you guys get shirts made,
Mm-hmm.
let me know, and I'll buy 5 or so, and I'm gonna give them out to
Oh,
people
yeah,
that subscribe to
good
the
deal.
podcast.
Good
there you
deal.
go.
I'll give
Be
them out.
cool.
That way people can have them. You don't have to worry
Nice.
about buying them, because I know money's, right now everybody's a little tight on stuff. But like I said, I'm helping these guys out as much as I can. I will donate money. I will give you money, and I will give out T-shirts on the next podcast if I
Thank
have
you.
them.
Absolutely,
So
that's awesome.
Appreciate that, man.
no problem, man. And if there's anything else, if anybody out there is interested in sponsoring, please get a hold of Jordan, man, because you can never have enough sponsors. I mean, you really can't.
Especially the local sponsors, man. I really like to get those out there. Like Chase, what we're doing here is trying to build our local community up, man. That's why, I feel like I'm fighting for something. I feel like when they got there and say Scipio, Indiana, man, it just makes me feel like I'm fighting for something.
I get tired of hearing that, man. We tell somebody, you're like, I'm from North Vernon. Like, where's that at?
Yeah.
Like 30 minutes south of Columbus. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Nah, dude.
You hear Lance Green announce it on TV or pay-per-view, right? He just gets into it.
Yeah.
That guy is great.
He is.
He's really good.
Yeah, you should friend him on Facebook.
I probably will.
He's a great guy. Funny. He sees you. He's like, "Hey, what's going on? Good to see you."
Just into it.
Yeah, but he talks about Scipio right there. It's just he's got that roar behind it. It's just infusing the stick of dynamite anyway.
Makes me feel like I'm fighting for something, man. So I love the sponsors not only because like it does help me out a lot, but I get to say local. Something I've been going to my whole life.
You're help building up your hometown.
Yeah, I've been
man.
going to Papa's forever, man. I go to Browns, man. I love saying that stuff out here on this stuff and promoting them, and it makes me feel like we're building this place up, man. Jinx County Wrestling, I love screaming that every time, trying to bring it up, dude. It's.
We have, man. That's the thing, though. It's like we're not all cornfields and bush light. I mean, that's a big part of us, but that's not all we are. We do have good talent that comes out of here, man,
yes.
and we just. The struggle here is we just don't have the opportunity, and we've talked about that. You have to go to Columbus to get to a jiu-jitsu gym, and we just don't have that here. We don't have the same opportunities as some of these bigger cities around us, but we have talent here for sure,
Absolutely.
man. It is here. And, like when I first started this whole gig, man, that was my whole goal. That is my goal for this. I don't ask for money. I don't
really
do
appreciate
it. You guys know, we just sit here and talked about how much money I've spent on this.
Oh yeah, crazy.
For what? I'm not getting no kickback. I'm just doing this to help everybody, man.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do. So,
It's helping out a lot.
chance, man. Build your hometown up, man. Like we got an MMA fighter right here that's doing big things, and like Scipio, Indiana, everybody asks where that's at. Well, this is where that's at.
We're going to get it heard.
Yeah, absolutely, man. The whole motto of I'm going to put Scipio on the map, you know what I mean? That's a real thing because people don't know. When you're going to Louisville, Kentucky to fight, and they're like, Scipio. Or
What the hell is
It's like, cross the bridge, bud.
Yeah.
About
There's
20 minutes, get your ass whooped.
There's only one. Jinx County is the only county in the United States that's named Jinx County.
Yeah.
Every other county's not named that. And Scipio is the only other. That's the only Scipio there is. It's crazy.
And there's only one Scipio Savage.
No, there's a lot of Scipio Savages out there.
Yeah, but this is the Scipio Savage.
I'm the one repping right now. There's a lot of them though. There's some savages out there, especially they're savages in their own way, like Chase, like out there screaming. That's his savage. That's what his job is. He knows that too.
He's so funny, dude.
Like, I
It's
love
his contribution.
I love Chase, but that's what he knows. Like that's what's gonna get him
That is the
ride to
ultimate
Vegas.
hype man, dude.
Yes, that's what's gonna get him the ride to Vegas. And
Dude, he will scream until his face is purple, dude.
he loves. That's what he lives for, man.
Yeah, dude,
He lives
absolutely.
for it. He had a good time out there, man. A lot of those people had a good time out there. I love to see that too. I love to see my friends out there having a good time and getting to catch some fights, man. That's awesome.
It's phenomenal to have the support that you do. I will say that, man, because you got a lot of people here that even like you had a lot of people before.
Yeah.
And then now, dude, I'm not saying bandwagon, but it's progressing. You know what I'm saying? Like you got people, their eyes are opening up, like, oh shit, dude,
Yeah.
like he's ranked number 5. This
Yeah.
is only his second fight. I'm like, yeah, dude, it's because he's that good. Like it's like you
Finishes.
gotta watch.
Yeah.
You
I
know what
walked
mean?
into the hospital. I work at the hospital, Columbus, and that next day, that Monday, I was like, "Well, let's see it." They only had the video out yet, right? I'm like, "Well, you're gonna have to wait a day or two," but they're on board. They're cheering. They know who he is.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
I be getting people actually all the time now. Just kind of people I don't know or just don't remember hit me up like, "Hey, man, I don't know if you remember me or know me, but that's awesome, man. Me and my kids watched it." Dude.
Yeah.
I love that kind of stuff, man. It makes me feel.
Yeah, dude, you're establishing one hell of a fan base.
Thank you.
I mean, to be honest, like, I mean, you had a lot of people with you, but like when I've talking to people, like, dude, I go to my job site, and this is all I talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like, all day today, I was like, dude, are we done yet? Like, it's 3:30, dude. Are we done yet? Like, I got a podcast to do tonight, dude. I'm stoked for this. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, well, who are you having on? I'm like, I'm cage fighter, dude. I'm having a cage fighter. And they're like,
awesome.
what? Where at? I'm like, Scipio. He's from Scipio. I'm like,
Nice.
there's a cage fighter out of Scipio. And I'm like, yeah. Yes, there is. Yeah, dude. So I got all the guys at work, man, that are hopping on. You know, I showed a couple of my guys that I work with your videos, your fights and stuff,
Thank
man,
you.
and they're like, damn. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, know
I
that
don't
name, dude, because
I'm not giving them a whole lot to watch so far, but I am showing dominance and control.
we enjoy the short trailers.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Hey, that's you know, like I said, it's hard to say I'm gonna change the game plan up because you know the game plan.
You don't have to, man. You don't have to change that until it has to be changed.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we talked about that, you know, the other day when because you said the commentator actually come up to you and made that good point.
Yeah.
Is, why showcase anything when you don't have to?
Yep. Why give them more to look at?
Yeah, absolutely. That's just more footage for someone else to study. You know, when you don't have to showcase that, dude.
And you know, we're still in the amateur division, but the goal, honestly, the overall goal is to be pro by the end of the year and have a pro fight by the beginning of next year.
It's a good goal.
Yes, very.
That's a
And
good goal.
It's realistic too.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
A realistic goal.
Absolutely.
So
I mean,
So
you just the technique and how hard you work, man. Like doing what you're doing is inspiring. But if I would love to get, I'm gonna work on this because I would love to come into Browns one day and just shoot a promo video.
that'd be cool.
I'm being serious because you can sit here and see him and see the success that he's had, but until you see the work that
Oh,
he puts
mercy.
in,
Mercy.
dude, you have no idea. I mean, you just really don't.
I like that.
Going into the gym for 2 hours. You're in there more than that because I know you are. Because
Well, he starts his day out
Yeah.
like around 7 most days, strength training,
Yeah.
and that'll go on for almost a couple hours. I mean, and it's not just throwing some weights around. I mean, there's a point behind every rep that we do.
It's a program.
It is.
Yeah.
And then to do that, and then he goes and runs. Okay, then he will if
Go
he's
to
not
work.
working with the Galaxy. I mean, he's working somewhere.
Yeah.
And then going home and rolling, right? Or going to the gym and rolling. So, and it's every day minus Sunday. I mean, you know, you do need that rest day. And that's,
Sunday's God's day.
But it's intense. And this, you know, I mean, he's been doing this since 5th grade, 6th grade. And, you know, you could see it in his face when he was in 6th grade the first time we took him to wrestling, right? I mean, his eyes just lit up. He's like, I don't know what this is, but I like it. And he, for a kid that had just came for his first practice, I mean, he was really dominant at that point in this. And just it got better and better and better. And then after school, you know, he goes into, you know, the jiu-jitsu and it just things transgressed to where he's today. But you're right. I mean, you don't see what is behind the whole thing. It's just not somebody just put a pair of shorts on and goes out in the cage. It's not how
Yeah,
that
that ain't
works.
happening at all, man.
Yeah, but this is intense.
It's not even like you just said. It's not even just the training. It's not just the nutrition, man. It's the sacrifice. You know what
A lot
I
of
mean? Because
sacrifices.
you're doing, like you said, you're working out strength in the morning for 2 hours, then you're running, and then you got to go roll, and then you got to work, and then all that. Imagine that, and then trying to fit your meals in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I gotta
Because
cook, too.
nutrition is like 80,
Yeah.
85% of the whole game. Man.
It is.
I mean, it really is. I've stressed that to people. I will be having another podcast with a nutritionist, and I'm pretty
I'll be
stoked for
checking
that
that
too.
out.
Yeah, that'd be a good.
And so yeah, I got a lot of questions.
Yes,
Yeah, I will
please.
figure
I might
that
even
out.
ask them, like,
But,
throw some questions out to you.
Yeah,
guys,
dude,
man.
and it's crazy because like a lot of people don't understand nutrition. They don't understand when you go into the cage, you got to feel 100%.
Yeah, especially after a weight cut. You know, I need
Yes.
to be eating and
Yeah.
refueling myself with the proper
And you
things.
got to count macros, man. Like, and if people don't know what that is, we will be explaining all this stuff in the next one.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah. So your macros, like your macronutrients, you know, you got to know how much fat, how much carbs, how much protein, all with your body weight. And in this game, man, the cuts are it's
Intense.
hard. It's intense.
Intense.
Yeah. It's
That's
this
the
whole
only-
fight game, dude, is just crazy. I mean, it really is, and it's a ruthless sport. It's ever evolving. I don't know, man. I kind of have no words for it because it's, you know, you see people like basketball players and football players and rugby or whatever the hell, and like then you have MMA, and it's like, well, in basketball, you just shoot a basketball. You're just dribbling a basketball. Like, and then you like when you go to football, it's just one thing. You know, when you throw in MMA and you're going into a cage, man, it's a mix of all kinds of martial arts.
Someone's
and you
getting hurt.
Someone's going to get hurt, and
Dana White said it best. He said that if you take the four corners of the world, you put football in one, the Kentucky Derby in the other, that's a pretty big thing, and hockey in one. But in the fourth corner, if a fight breaks out, everybody's going to watch that fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just the vibe.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen. You never know.
Why do you think hockey's so cool?
Dad's
Yeah,
the only person though to get to see the last bit of my weight cut.
It's hard. That's intense, man.
The last one was woo-wee. Mercy.
And it's because of the
Why
strength.
don't you explain that? Because just to be truthful, man, because coming out of your mouth and the way that you would explain it is far better than I ever could. But to people out there that don't understand that, you don't fight at your walk around weight, man. Because there's some people that can, there's some people that do, and there's some pros that do. But realistically, man, you want to cut down and keep your strength at the same time and cut all the weight that you can to fight in a lower weighted division. Yeah. And then you get that time after weigh-ins to gain a little back. You know what I mean? But explain that just a little bit, how hard that weight cut system works, man. Because people that don't know MMA that might be watching this are just like maybe dabbling into it. That is intense.
It's a prep all the way to. Dad asks me all the time, "What's your weight?" Because
I
said,
every day.
He got to see the last weight cut, and the last weight cut, like he was saying, was pretty brutal. He got to watch it, and I don't cut the last little bit till the last minute.
Yeah, so a lot of fighters do that.
Right.
And then they miss weight, like we just seen that previously with the UFC.
It's a crazy game to play. You're playing just like by 0.1, 0.2. And
I think Charles Albert was over by 0.5. It's half a pound.
And sometimes it's so hard to get that 0.5 off when you're already so low. And like Dad saw it last time, and we went and I had sauna suits, and we were running out in the parking lot. Dad was worried about me. That's how it goes. I've never missed weight.
I've seen people, man, where they'll throw a sauna suit on, sweatpants, sweatshirt, and they'll just be spitting. Like every 5 seconds, they're like, I gotta get this weight out.
You could see his face sucking in as he was doing that last little bit of weight cut out in the park. It's just a big bare parking lot. We went to the local Walmart, right? Picked up a sauna suit.
Because I already went through one sauna suit, so we had to go get another.
Yeah, they're trash, man.
But it was pretty intense. And, if you can imagine yourself, nobody likes to be hungry, right? You get hungry. This is beyond that.
Oh, I guarantee it.
And it's not forever. I kept telling Jordan just for motivation. I'm like, come on, man, only 30 more minutes, then we could tear this up. We've got stuff ready for him to go right out of the bag.
Right.
We don't as soon as I get off the scales, like there's over my shoulder, Dad's handing me a protein Gatorade, something to eat, and then it's just
start
on from there.
Because just because you weigh in doesn't mean you're done.
Right. Yeah.
You go maybe do some interviews. You'll do whatever.
Face off.
So you still got things to do. So you got to have that stuff ready. But weight cutting it's a discipline.
Oh,
and you've really got to be mentally ready to prepare to put your body through some torture for just a little bit.
And I think that's why a lot of wrestlers excel, because they've been through that. They've been through the weight cut. I got to say, Jinx County Wrestling, Coach Jones Wrestling, I never missed weight. And, they made sure of that. They made sure we were always on weight. That was a big ordeal, and that's a big, huge discipline. That's what you do before the match. If you're not disciplined enough to make the weight, you're not disciplined enough to get on the mat. So, everything's just a discipline. And I'm really happy with my discipline and my work ethic, and I always like to work hard. And
that's inspiring, man.
I've never missed weight ever, honestly. And I don't plan on to. We made it happen that last time. Like, we say it's rough, like, we're going to get it done now.
And then, you're right. You made the point a second ago about, they're not fighting it that way. He's put 10 pounds on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's put at least 10 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
He's fighting 145, maybe even 146, 147.
Yeah.
So.
And then, 2 or 3 days after that, I'm back up to 160, 162. Right. Yeah. No problem.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, people that don't, I've followed MMA for a long time. Mm-hmm. That's one of my favorite things to watch. I'd rather watch that. I was a big basketball guy, dude, but I would much rather watch people kick the shit out of each other than watch a ball go in the hoop. You know what I mean? Like, not knocking that sport because I love it, cool. but you know what I'm saying. But people that don't avidly follow that, and that's one of the reasons why I like having UFC Fight Pass. I
Get at
subscribe
least-
to Fight Pass,
yeah.
man, just because you see what happens behind closed doors, man. Like
Yeah.
when they're dragging you out of a sauna. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the pro that happens, man. That's not a joke. That's not, you have to make that weight. And then when you get into the pro series, if you start missing weight, you get decline the fight, you get half your purse.
Yep. That's a paycheck.
We just witnessed that with the last UFC when
the
Charles
belt.
Oliveira missed it by a half pound, man. He lost the entire belt.
Yeah.
It was
Even though he
vacant.
won, he still lost.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, what do you get? Well, he gets the number one contender.
Yeah.
For the belt again, for the belt back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But even in the amateur series, it's intense, man. That weight cut is not a joke, and that there has been like a lot of people doing like scientific studies and stuff.
Oh.
I watched this on the Joe Rogan podcast the other day when they was talking about weight cut, man, and how truly unhealthy it is. But I mean, that's just the
How you
sport
go
is
at
so
it.
unforgiving, man. It really it's vicious. It's the most insane sport. I mean, it really is, dude. If you think about it,
I feel like
and
it
they're
is.
and they're severely underpaid.
I believe
They're the
so.
most underpaid.
Now some promotions are like, everybody thinks of UFC being the number one promotion, which it is when it has like the
There's
top
promotions
level.
that are better.
There are promotions that are better and they pay their
Sorry.
fighters better.
They treat 'em better.
and they treat them better, and they're always good fights. Like it's always hard to have a bad fight, man. A
Yep.
fight's a fight, and it's always going to be good, man. So UFC, I think will eventually get there, man. I don't think it's Dana White. Everybody likes to blame Dana White, but I think it's who's the ESPN. I think it's those guys.
Yeah, it's kind of all of
all the above,
showboat
man. But
a little bit. But like and for all those that might be just starting to dabble into MMA, man, like don't just watch UFC because that's there's
so
the
much
levels
more.
to it, man. And when you get to that level, you got to watch an amateur series and then compare that to UFC. And then you got all these other ones. You got
regional pro
Khabib
promotions.
Nurmagomedov
Yeah.
just started his
Yeah, yeah.
Eagle FC. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a phenomenal.
It is.
I mean, now it's
I'm excited about that one.
oh yeah, me too.
They've had good fights on there. They've had some ex-UFC fighters on there, which make it interesting. But they've had up.
He's gonna get more.
Well, he's had up-and-comers from there. A lot of them are Russian.
Yep.
Killing it.
Dude,
killing
them guys from Russia and Dagestan are just.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's like football here, man. You ever watch them play
Yeah.
basketball? It's like, dude, I watched that. There's a documentary on YouTube
Russian
about.
basketball is
Oh my
what's called.
god, dude.
They're rough.
These are like holding basketball, trying to shoot into hoop while also playing rugby and football and,
Yeah.
and kicking the shit out of each other. You know, it's insane. But that could be a whole nother sport itself. But anyway, so if you're dabbling into MMA and you're starting to watch, I would highly encourage you not just focus so much on UFC, man. Watch the build up. I get more pleasure out of watching that. You start an amateur series and you watch, like we watch you, man. Like if you make it to UFC, which I really think is a realistic goal, man. I think that's
so
a
too.
realistic thing. But when you watch fighters' journeys from the amateur series and you watch them step up promotions, and then they make it to that pro league, you understand what it took to get there. And dude, the worst UFC fighter that you've ever watched maybe shit on amateurs. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like there's this level to it.
Yeah.
Once you make it to that pro league, man, it's a totally different game.
Oh yeah.
But when you watch
Everybody's
these
good.
amateur series,
yeah.
man, you're on the edge of your seat the entire
Yeah.
time. 'cause
You don't know what's
never know what's gonna
Yeah.
go on.
This guy's one thing, he's real good at wrestling. This guy's not. You never know what's gonna happen.
The
Where
way
you
I
get
guess
to the
I
pro,
could
everybody should be
explain it-
good, well-rounded.
The way I guess I could explain it was your amateur series. Jiu-jitsu and fight game is almost like a chess game.
Yes.
Like how you like how you
Absolutely.
said it a while ago. It's fun watching him. Like I said, anything anybody does is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because there's counter moves to everything.
Yeah.
I mean, there really is, man.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
ways to get out of. There's techniques and ways to get out of certain things, and when you start doing that, it's a chess game. Like okay, he's got me in this
You gotta
position.
think of the next move.
I got to think of the next move. How can I stay one step ahead of him? That's the fighter IQ. And that's where you excel over a lot of people, man. And that's because the wrestling backgrounds helped you with your transitions. I mean, dude, you could do circles around people. I mean, seriously. But like you see those, you see those things, and it just
It's a lot to it. There's
Yeah.
a lot of ingredients to a successful fighter.
Yes, yes.
And Jordan's one of his amazing things right now in his arsenal. It keeps growing. Is his strength. You could see
You
how
are strong.
how he just outpowers everyone.
we watched that in your last fight. To be honest, man, 'cause that
Absolutely.
dude had a good sprawl. I'll give him that. He
Yeah,
had
it was
a
a good
decent
sprawl. But I had that elbow.
Yep.
I was
That's
feeling
what I'm
there.
saying,
that,
man.
that feel there, like I could tell. Typically, when I'm rolling and it's somebody new and they're a big, huge, strong guy, I go for grip fighting. I go for grip fighting at first. Once I get a hold of the wrist, I could typically tell there how strong they are if they're strong
It's
enough.
not long after that he's got your throat.
Yeah,
Just throwing
and
that
then-
out
And
there.
think of that. Remember when he tried to tripod up, right?
Yeah.
And what'd you do? Without just nonchalantly, just reached around and grabbed that leg.
Yeah, it's
right?
like it's second nature.
Yeah, it didn't even look. Just went rest around there and felt it, and then bam, he's right back on
Yeah,
the ground.
man, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah.
That fighter IQ, it's like there's some people that, like yourself, you do it so often, so much. You're staying active in jiu-jitsu all the time. Even when you're not doing these fights, you're still doing jiu-jitsu
Oh, yeah.
tournaments. You know, that's a big deal. And that stuff's like second nature to you. To someone that comes into that fight and it's a split-second decision. You know what I mean?
has to
Like,
be.
I have to get this hold and I have to get it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But by the time some people are like in that position, like, okay,
Yeah.
what can I do here?
Yeah.
Well, it's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You done wasted 7 seconds trying to debate on what you're gonna do. He's got you by the throat already.
Yeah.
And,
But
and we watched that.
Jeremy Pender's boy, Alex Cadell, he was trying to put the try to say this right,
Nino.
Nino.
The Nino armbar.
Yeah, which is a great move, right? But Jordan just powered right out of it like 3 times. I mean, he couldn't keep it. His head kept it in that spot because he just outpowered him. So his strength is phenomenal, right? I can tell you right now, we've watched top 10 guys in B2 till we're about dead, right? But there's no one I don't even think there's no one in the pro at bantamweight that's stronger than Jordan right now. There's just no way.
Yeah, you're strong.
Yeah.
I can vouch for that, dude. You're strong.
It's that Coach Jones strength and conditioning back in the day, and then that's kind of leading to what we do at home. We lift heavy at home, and I've always kind of been stronger than my opponents. There's only very, very few people I think there's only 2 people I can think of. One was from Danville, and that was stronger than me in wrestling. But since then, I don't feel hardly a lot of people in my own weight class. I don't feel people.
And I
stronger
feel like
than me.
that's your arsenal, man. Because okay, you're stronger than them. So you say you fight someone that may be stronger than you. Okay.
I feel like I think.
Well, you have better
quicker.
technique.
Oh,
okay, so
absolutely.
now my strength's out the window, but I can still
Absolutely.
choke you out.
I feel pretty
I still know the
well-rounded.
techniques. Yeah, absolutely.
And I wrestling me back in the day was always just think get stronger, get faster, get more conditioned. But now I think I need to learn some moves. I need to learn some technique, and then I'll do some cardio. I mean, I always go just as hard. I still work the cardio, but now I'm thinking like I need to learn more. I need to drill more. I don't need to just go. I need to drill more, get smarter. Because that's what this game's turned into. You gotta be smarter.
That's
you gotta
what it
think
is,
quicker
man.
than
It's
the other
the
person.
fighter IQ, man. That wins so many matches is just knowing
yeah.
when to do things at that time. You got 4 or 5 seconds.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, that really is, man. If you don't know how to get out of something or how to prevent it, like if that dude, you were going on his back, man.
Yeah.
Like he knew,
Yeah.
but then you figured out like I can hit this motherfucker. Like I can hit him, dude. And then it just 1-2, dude, and he instantly and it opened up.
It sure did.
You know what I'm saying? It opened him right up. And it's just little things like that people. It's an art, like you said. It truly is an art, man. Like you got to see it as that perspective. It's a fluid art, and you have to have an IQ level, and it's just a giant chess match.
Yes.
I mean, really, with getting the shit kicked out of you. But you know what I mean, and it's.
And saying that kind of reminds me how it rolls in with the amateur league. So when you go with pro, everybody's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's got that.
They've
But-
made it there.
Yeah.
I mean, somehow they have made it
Yeah.
to that level.
Yeah, they figure out how to be that good. But in the amateur league, not everybody has to know how to fight.
Yeah.
And you just throw them in there. That's
We've
what's
seen
fun
that.
about it too. You see some guys that like they just should not be in there. Sometimes win, sometimes lose. It's a fight, and it's so exciting that way. Because like the pro league, like you said, you know what to expect.
Yeah.
But the amateur league, like man, this guy is just here for fun. Oh, that's kind of cool. Like
I kind
Cadell,
of like it, dude.
Yeah.
I think one of the things about amateur is like because you just don't know anybody, and it's like whenever he was trying to pull that armbar on you, when Alex was
Yeah.
trying to pull that Neo armbar on you, I was like, dude, what? He did that like 5 or 6 times. I'm like,
Yeah, he
what the
did.
fuck is he
He did.
doing, dude? Like, what is that? Like, I'd see him have your arm, and then I'd just see your arm go like this. I'm like, I don't know what that was, but it was something.
He did it a
that's
bunch
not
of the
gonna
first
work.
round. He did it a bunch of the first round. That was new to me then. I figured it out. Now I've actually been practicing.
It's a
pulling
good
it off.
move.
It is.
It is.
It is
Actually,
a strength
It's
submission.
awesome.
I looked it up on YouTube right after that fight.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie.
There's
great.
strength submissions, and then there's submissions you don't have to use strength. You know, like a lot of chokes.
Yep.
It is a strength submission, so people can muscle their way out of it like I did, but it is a nice one to have. But he did it a bunch in the first round, and then so between the rounds, I was like thinking like, yeah, I gotta capitalize on that if he goes for that again. So when the first time he did it on the second round, I got out of it and exposed his back. I was like, I gotta capture this one. This is the time I gotta do it. That's when it ended.
That's
In high school, Jordan used to what we call thread the needle, right? So it is beautiful, and he would wind up stacking people basically, you know, and then they'd count them out. But you know, we did that a lot back in high school. It was great.
So there's the needle. So I'd be on top of the person, and in wrestling they'll be belly down. No one wants to go on their back. So I'd get his arm through his legs, and it's kind of in a bad spot for boys, you know. So I got their wrist. So if I pull on it, it's hitting down there. So they kind of do what I want. I'd always ask Dad because there's two moves you can do from it. If they're looking in towards you when you do that, you got the cradle. If they look away from you, it's stack them. And I'd come up to Dad and always be like, which one you want me to do?
So-
He knew I was going to get the needle. I'd be like, which one you want me to finish it
it was
on?
always the stacker.
Oh, yeah. He always loved like a stack them.
Yeah,
Stack 'em.
Yeah, you just put your forearm in the back of their head and just pull that leg up. And it's going to make them want to go up because you're pulling on the jewels and you just stack them up.
on their shoulders, right? They don't really have any room to move.
That was one of my favorites. I kind of use that in jiu-jitsu. It's hard to use it in MMA.
It is,
Especially with the
Yeah.
gloves. But
I've been seeing a lot of the crucifix.
And
Oh, yeah.
that was my game plan originally. I mean, but then in amateur league, you're not allowed to throw elbows. My game plan was to literally get old boy in crucifix and elbow his face until TKO. But they said you can't elbow in there, so it turned into just kind of get their back and choke them in.
Damn it, man.
Yeah, I know it. But with the pro league, I'll be able to. And I love crucifix, man. I like to get their
I'll tell you what I enjoyed off topic. Sorry, but remember when Pride was a big deal?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
there's like nothing you couldn't do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
they
like, dude, you
encourage
see like
it.
curb stomping people in there. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, they encourage the violence.
That's crazy. I actually didn't know that you couldn't throw elbows in that series.
Not in the amateur league, no.
Yeah.
You can't throw knees until you're down to the ground.
Is there any submission moves you can do? Like I know, like so a lot of places like knee bars and stuff like that's kind of not a thing.
No, I
but
think you can do whatever still.
whatever submissions you want, just no. I think in UFC there's no 12 to 6 elbows.
Yeah,
If I do remember
so that's in
right.
everything.
Yeah, I remember that. 'Cause
That's
John
how John
Jones got.
That's
yeah,
his
John
only
Jones-
loss. Yeah,
yep.
they tried to fight that. Even the guy that he lost to was saying like, "Yeah, John was beating me up, so like, you know, he should be undefeated."
Yeah.
But they didn't take it away.
So, you know, each state has their own regulations when it comes to that. Actually, before the fight, we have fighters meetings, and they go over the latest rules that have came out, if anything's changed, and twice they have. So
What's changed?
well, so like between the first fight that Jordan had and the second fight, there was not much as far as the fight game goes, but as far as where you could throw the punches where their opponent was, up against the cage. What was it? What else was it?
Well, we fought in Kentucky a lot of times, so the rules go by state. So we've kind of had the same rules with Kentucky, just little tweaks here and there. But what changes in between states that we notice is, so I'm only allowed to have 2 cornermen in my corner as an amateur. But in other states, you can have whatever. You can have your family come out into the ring afterwards if you want. You know, Kentucky's kind of a little more strict on it. So it kind of goes by state, and it's just little things like that, you know, like how many
I don't
cornermen.
know how to feel about that.
Yeah, you can't even have your cornerman come up after the fight's over and they're raising his hand.
Well, it's like,
and that's
so you say like you can have them in the cage, like they come in the cage and whatever.
My dad, no, he can't after the fight.
Okay, that's good.
In other
because like
states-
how you know like how the mats are,
Yeah.
they want to keep them sanitized. You don't want people stepping in their
Yeah.
shoes. And
I always
stuff
wondered that,
like
and like the
you know,
UFC, so I was like, man, these guys are like walking all through that stuff. Like,
Yeah,
they,
dude, you
do they
don't want
clean
to
that
roll
stuff
around
in
on
between
that. Like,
fights?
what if
I
I,
bet
stepped
they
in a
do.
fresh pile
I
of
bet
dog
they
shit?
do.
You know what I
That's
mean? And then
that's
walk
the
out
stuff
there
they
like,
do during commercials, probably. You know, they clean it during commercials.
Yeah.
Maybe, so that'd be cool. I hope so.
yeah, that'd be.
Little tweaks like that, you know. But
So nothing really like.
but we
can
control.
be.
We can control. You know, that's
Yeah.
kind of how the fight
Yeah.
game is. Control what you can control.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Even during the fight, you man, like if stuff's going bad, get to something what you can control. That's why I always like to go to my wrestling because I know I can control that. That's what I like to control. So, you know, the rules, you know, they can change whatever. It's just kind of like when they said you couldn't do no elbows, like, Dad's like, well, what can we do to control now? It's like, well, we'll get his back, choke him out. So that's what the game plan's been.
Worked.
It did. It did. It's nice having quick finishes for multiple reasons. I think the
especially
most.
an amateur.
Yeah, it saves you wear and tear on your body, man.
Absolutely.
And
Especially
and,
amateur.
and
Less
like I've
damage.
said, submitting people, man. That to me, that's also respectful for the opponent because knockouts are cool. Knockouts are awesome.
Oh,
Everybody
yeah.
wants to see knockouts, dude. But
Right.
there's people that are trying to make a career out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you're good enough to submit them, not in their career, you know what I mean? Like you see a lot of people. Like get punch drunk, man. Like I'm a big fan of Nate Diaz, dude. But
Yeah,
that
he
dude's a
gets punch
walking. He's
drunk.
walking CTE, man. Like
Yeah.
he's just,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like I love Diaz. Don't
Yeah,
get
me
me wrong,
too,
dude.
yeah.
He's one of my favorite fighters. But it's like, you know, there's a point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you're so good on the ground, dude. And it's gonna take someone that's, I mean,
I'm excited for that day for someone to stop it too.
You know
To
what
be
I mean?
honest, because I'm ready to like see that next challenge.
yeah, I'm ready to see those.
But right
hands.
now,
I mean, there's
Do not see
proven
no one stopping
there's
it.
proven guys. I mean, you think about Hoist Gracie. The guy was never a stand-up guy,
Nope.
right?
Nope.
You mentioned MMA. You,
I don't
you
think
gotta-
really any of the Gracies were. They were all.
You throw their names in there, right?
Yeah.
You know, Ken Shamrock really didn't throw very well, right? But
No.
get him on the ground, man, and look out. So
Yeah.
I think what Jordan's doing is what he feels comfortable in. Being comfortable in the ring is key to winning a fight.
Yeah.
If you're not comfortable, you're probably not going to do things that you really should be doing.
Right.
So,
and that's a strategy. That's the McGregor strategy is making your opponent feel uncomfortable. And that's what could win you a fight. McGregor would get them all worked up, talking trash, get them to the
he's
point
so
where they
good at
want to
that.
knock
He is.
them out or want to do stand up, and that makes them uncomfortable. And that's where McGregor would win because they're uncomfortable now, and he thrives in uncomfortable situations.
He lives rent free in a lot of people's heads.
Exactly. So I think I could control that a lot too. I control my state of mind pretty well.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
you said, like 3 hours before the fight, we see a lot of people right before their fight doing some weird
Oh
stuff
my
that
gosh.
that wouldn't put me in the right state of mind. It
Yeah.
would just throw me. It kind of throws me off seeing them doing it as I'm warming up. I'm like, I'm trying to warm up over here and I got to see
You're
this.
distracted.
Yeah. So
See one's like
that
so
3
they're
hour
doing
pace
some
and
Buddhist like weird shit, meditation or something.
there's
weird.
all kinds of weird stuff. The girlfriends.
I couldn't do that,
Some of
dude,
the
there's no
bad
way.
work. People kind of like training wrong. Like you said, that like Dad said, there's a lot of people back there that were just there to chill, act like they were like, oh, I know this fighter. I mean, like there's a lot of unneeded bodies.
Yeah, way
Yeah.
too
When
Oh,
many.
we're there to
like
focus.
that.
We're there to focus.
I don't think there should be any girls allowed in the locker room, to be honest, man. That's just
Well, there's
not
girl
a-
fighters, but they have their own locker rooms.
That's what I'm saying. You're not gonna have girl fighters in with the men fighters
Yeah.
because
I'm trying to change and stuff,
Yeah, dude. I mean, if that's on them, if they want to see, I'd just drop them. They know what they're at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know if I'd like that too much. That
A
just
lot of
seems like
guys
a lot of
would do
distraction.
pad work like it. I mean, you do this practicing at night. They put that much energy into the pads, and then go out and fight. I'm
Be
like,
gassed,
out.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
I like light rolling.
We
just
warm up, for
Little
sure.
bag work.
Yeah,
Get
we
a
stretch.
sweat going, maybe just a tad.
Yeah.
Keep your mind focused while you're doing it.
I stretch and warm up for sure.
For
Get the
sure.
right state of mind. Those where we really focus at being comfortable. I honestly have to like try hard, not thinking about like people are there watching me, man. Like it's a big thing.
Yeah, you
Just
can't
once I get in a
think
cage,
about
I'm just pacing, thinking like me and that guy, me and that guy.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like your mentality and the way that you show your mentality is dude. There's like here, and then there's like you. I'm being serious, man.
It
Because
is.
like if you watch those previous fights, man, you can tell some of those guys are like,
Warming
Yeah.
up.
and like they're going out there and like, oh shit, dude, I don't know if I'm really ready for this. And then you got you over there, and I'm like, dude, I'm ready. I'm like, I can't wait, dude. Like,
Yeah.
ring that bell, dude. Let's go.
I get to that last moment like all this training for this right here.
Yeah,
This is
absolutely.
what it's for.
Yeah.
And I get depressed right after the fight. I really do, man. Like, I trained so hard for that moment. That moment happened, and it happened so fast. Next week I am happy. Everybody comes up to me, gives me all that love, and I'm happy with that. But like, inside I'm really sad, dude, because like it's like, damn, like what do I train for now? Like, what now?
Next name.
And I start thinking. That's why we like to think so quick. I start thinking to the next fight already. Like I want to get training for that next fight because like I'm sad without it. It's just that build up, man, gets so built up, and then it's done, and I'm like, wow. Like, now what? So,
After the fight, there's like a 9-day layoff of everything, right? He'll probably go roll, but not roll like he usually
it's
does.
for fun.
It's a light
I'll go
roll,
just
fun
to
roll.
enjoy it because
Yeah.
normally when I go in there, I kill
Stay
myself.
sharp a little bit.
Well, I go in there just to literally enjoy it because I go in there and kill myself when I'm training. So like the week after, I'll go in 1 or 2 days just to like say, hey, what's up, roll one or two matches, barely be real defensive and just have fun, because I don't ever have, I
Those
have
guys
fun
are
there,
so
but like
good,
I'm
dude,
killing
man.
myself.
Like, you gotta shout out Browns too, man,
yeah,
because
good
like
group of
all
people.
those guys are behind you, like 100%, man. And when you go in there, it's nice to have people to roll with that aren't gonna try to hurt you.
Yeah.
They're not out to be like, well, he's a cage fighter, well, I'm gonna try to beat him up, or something like that, or just anything like that,
Yeah.
man. That's the most humblest gym,
Yes.
man. And like all those guys that train in there, they're great.
Yeah.
A lot of them, like you said, are law enforcement. They're not in there to do necessarily what you're doing, but they're in there because it's their everyday job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you respect that, and then Mike himself being, was he state police officer and
Mike.
yeah, he was.
He's getting retired in a year. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you know what I mean? So that gym it's clean, it's phenomenal, it's a lot bigger than what I thought it was.
And
it's growing.
Yep. We're going to
And,
get the other lobby area too because it's just getting that big, man.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I'd like to have him on here.
That'd be
To
great.
be honest with you,
Yeah.
I might try to work on
Yeah.
that. If
Yeah.
I'd like to have him on here and just maybe because I'd like to help that gym.
Oh, yeah.
I really would, man. Because you're doing what you're doing, but you have a lot of teammates that are good as well.
Oh
man.
yeah,
Like,
we got
they're-
national champs there.
Exactly,
A bunch of them.
and a lot of them are competing in the Fuji tournaments. A lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
them are, any chance they get.
Big
You're some
time
phenomenal
competitors.
athletes.
We got a pretty big competition team now, man. It's
Yeah.
kind of been growing a lot here lately. It's huge.
And your kids, the kids
The
that go
kids
there,
competition.
man, killers.
Yeah, they go to competitions too. Big kids class and
It's like they're so sweet and innocent, dude. Then like when they get on the mats, it's like children in the corn. It's
oh
like,
yeah, they start murdering each
Christ.
other. But you can really tell that they let it out there, man, and they have a good time with it. And they're so smart, man. And you
they're
think
sponges, dude.
you think sometimes they're not paying attention. They're not. Sometimes you're showing a move and they're not paying attention. Then you got there and they know it still. Like it's like they see it and they're learning it their own way. Like
They're sponges, man.
Yeah.
Like, their
Yeah.
mind has not been absorbed with the day-to-day life. So as you grow up, dude, you get so much shit going through your head. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? When their kids are like, I'm just going to play over here. And, oh, yeah, I'll choke this guy out like this.
yeah,
You
it's
know what I'm
crazy.
saying? Like, it is crazy, man. But
It's probably a big reason why the sport's where it's at is
Mm-hmm.
because these kids are starting out so young.
Oh,
yeah.
So by the time they get in their 20s, that good competitive age, they've learned so much and they're starting to create new holds,
Yeah.
new moves, using the latest science, right,
Yeah.
to just make this game what it is today.
And that's
It's
what I'm
phenomenal.
saying. It's an ever evolving sport, man.
Yeah.
Because you got generations, like your generation, our generation. You're watching the next generation, and like how the
Yeah.
pioneers of the
Yeah,
sport
yeah,
started
yeah.
out. And it's like, there's new moves that come up, and then there's moves that were way in the past that are like resurfacing.
That
You know
work.
what I mean? Yeah, that work. And it's like, man, why did that technique ever go away?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, dude, it's just a cool sport, man. Like, it's just a cool sport to watch. There's always something new, and it's
Always
it's,
up and
and it's
comers.
growing, man. It's like
Always someone
jujitsu,
hungry.
man. Like, I watched some weird, wild shit the other night, man. It was like combat jujitsu. You ever seen
Oh
that?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Open
like,
open hand slapping.
yeah, dude.
It's pretty much MMA, but you have to open hand. And it's
Well, I didn't know this, so I turned it on TV and I'm watching this, dude. And I just seen this dude rear back and slap the shit out of this dude, and I'm like, what? There's
open
like,
palm
it's
too.
a
You can go like
fight.
that and just sit there and
Yeah.
Yeah. Nikki Sullivan, she's a black belt. She's from around here, but she's moved out, and she's actually under Altos, is a big, huge jiu-jitsu gym. It's a big brand, and she's a black belt. Killer. She's real good. She whoops me when she comes back home, man. Like, she's real good. She's done that. Yeah, she's real good at that, and she's fought a UFC fighter and beat her in there. And I mean, they're brutal, man. The girls. I mean, I watched her matches, and just open palm, just fist.
Isn't that cool, man? Like,
That's real cool.
Because I feel like MMA is one of those things where, like, the women's division started, and that's awesome, dude. Because
It is.
dude,
They're
there's
killer.
some savage
Yeah.
women out there, man. Like, there's some of them girls I think can beat up dudes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just saying,
Yeah,
dude.
I, I find myself like really wanting to see some of the women fighters,
Yeah,
over
yeah.
the
Me too.
men,
Even have
right?
the women fighters on there that are.
Yeah.
some of the best undercards that I've watched so far this year have been
Yeah.
women. I mean, truly.
Oh yeah.
You just never
there's-
know. Just
no.
never that. Look at the last week's fight, the big upset. I mean, you never seen that coming, like that, how that poor of a fight. So
Oh yeah, with
Yeah.
Thug Rose.
Yeah.
And, yeah. That
Oh,
was,
yeah.
big fan of hers. She just
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She was very defensive.
she was
She was very defensive.
she was
But that's like one of those things, man. Because there's there's a fine line, like when men's sports and women's sports. Like if you watch a men's basketball game and then you watch a women's basketball game, it's not dogging on it, but to me it's kind of like watching paint dry. Yeah, and I'm not dogging on dude because it's an insane sport. And, you know, what have you, and the girls do a phenomenal job. But like with something like MMA, the techniques, all the stuff, it's the same as men.
Yeah.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like jiu-jitsu
They got
is
to train with
jiu-jitsu.
the men.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu is jiu-jitsu. Yeah, when I went to the gym and I rolled with I rolled with a couple girls there.
Oh, yeah, there's a ton of
Dude,
girls.
I got choked out. And I'm like, what?
There's a ton of girls that go there.
Yeah, dude, you know what I mean? Like, dude, I instantly pulled out my walls like this, dude. My man card's gone.
And we were have a girls' night, but none of the girls were showing up because they just show up with the boys anyways, because that's where they get
Right.
good rolls with. So then we just changed it back to boys and girls and just made the hours longer, and that's where the girls show up. They come beat up on guys, man. I think
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I definitely got beat up.
There's a bunch of them there, man. We got
I
and
think the
most
girl
of,
is the same weight as you.
yeah.
I forget what's her name. I forget.
There's Brooke.
Yeah.
There's Sam. There's
One of them had my throat
That's probably Brooke.
hard twice. Yeah.
You still
Brooke's one
seem
of
a
our-
little upset about that.
Huh?
You still seem a little
Oh, I'm
upset
not
about
upset,
that.
dude. I was just very highly impressed.
She's one of the purple belts. She's taught me a lot.
She's definitely a purple belt.
Yeah.
I felt all that. But yeah, man, and that's like what I'm saying. Like when the women's division, when that very first started, you know, like how I said, people dog on, you know, like women's basketball or tennis or, you know, all these other sports that have women's divisions.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, they're not so competitive as men. But not in MMA, dude.
Yeah, they are.
Not in MMA because it's all the same techniques. You
Yeah.
know, like your Muay Thai, same technique,
Yeah,
man.
has
Like
to be.
girls throw nasty knees. I've seen it.
And the heart they have and
Oh, dude.
discipline that they show.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like, it's all got to be the same. There's only one way to do that, you know.
And the girls are pretty smart.
And that's, yeah, they're smart. They think different than guys, and it's a game of smart. You know?
We're all bronze.
Yeah, we're all out there thinking smash, smash, smash.
Yeah.
And they're out there like, they
Smash.
really think.
But yeah, man, it is crazy. But yeah, man, it's MMA is it's come a long way, and it's gonna keep progressing. It's gonna be one of those big things, and I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm glad to be a part of having you on here. I'm glad to be a
I
part
love
of
it.
helping you in
the
the
home.
B2 fighting series, Brown's Jiu Jitsu. You know, I'm so happy to be on board. Just throwing you guys out there, helping you. You know, it means the world to me because this is what I started with doing. So
I appreciate it, man. And I love that we get this out there, and I love that you do that for all of us, man. Because like I was saying, I do this, the more that I get, you know, hyped up and more and higher in promotions, that's just more for Jinx County and Scipio, man, because I'm bringing it with me. You know, it's going to come right
absolutely,
behind me,
man.
man. Like, this ain't just for me. Like, you know, I do all this hard work, and, you know, it is rewarding to me, but I feel like it's rewarding in a way that I feel like I'm representing something.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I feel like
sure.
we're getting out there and doing that. And also getting other people motivated to do whatever it may
yeah,
be.
dude, it's inspirational, man. Like your whole story from where you started, like, you know, as you said in 5th grade, man, like you were a killer in 5th grade. That's when you started. Then seeing you go through high school, you know, I remember watching you, dude. Like we've had this conversation, dude. we was running suicides, right? Like I thought suicide was the end of the world. And then like as I'm over there huffing for breath, I see these crazy asses. They're like doing fireman carries, like carrying their partner up all these steps and stuff, dude. And I'm just like, dude, I will run suicides. Like I will keep running these suicides stuff. I don't have to do that. You know what I mean? But like, dude, it's just crazy, man. Like your story is inspirational, and then to transfer from wrestling and to do what you did, and then to be where you're at. You know what I mean? It should inspire people, man, because if anything, it shows that it is 100% doable.
Yes.
You can be from a town just like this.
Yes.
People focus on so much negative stuff, man, it kills
They
me.
do.
You know, we have a heroin epidemic, we have an opioid crisis, we have all this going on, politics, blah, blah, blah. But no one, you know, truly focuses on our sports, our talents, the athleticism that comes through here, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's here.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and if you're out there listening to this, man, do it. You know what I mean? A lot of people fear change. You know what I mean? Like, I was scared to death to come to jiu-jitsu for the first time. Dude, as soon as I did it, I got on the mat. Yeah, I got my ass whooped, but it was fun. You know what I mean? Like, they don't kill you. You're not going to go out there and die, dude.
I was scared to go to MMA for the first night because it's totally different from wrestling, man. You're going to throw punches now.
Yeah,
So
absolutely,
it's
man.
all
But
just
then once you do it, it's like, okay, man, this it's not as bad. A lot of people hype themselves up and they fear things more than what they should. And I guess what I'm saying is, man, it's never too late to get into. You know, you don't have to go. You know, be a cage fighter to get into jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I've seen, there's a guy there at Browns that's like in his 50s and his 60s, I think. There's a guy, man,
Oh, yeah,
and
Mike
I rolled
says.
around with him, dude.
Mike
Yeah.
says. And then
He choked me out too.
John O'Sullivan, I'm not calling you old John, but he's older and he works at O'Mara's.
Yeah, he's a lowboy driver. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
I talked to him the other day, man.
He's been coming out for a couple of years and he's just a killer now. And
Yeah.
he just comes as a hobby every now and then when he can. And
It's hard to
enjoys it.
find that time, man, in the construction field. I'll vouch for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like you don't have to come out and have this, I want to be a cage fighter mentality, man. You can just, jiu-jitsu is a superpower. And I will say that, dude, it legitimately is, man. Like you don't have to be the biggest, you don't have to be the strongest. I've seen people, Jordan, what's your walk around weight?
Typically 150.
Okay.
155.
Okay, well I'm 200. And he chokes me the fuck out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, it's a superpower. Like, it literally is, man. And it's fun. It keeps you in shape, keeps you going. And if you're not into jiu-jitsu, you're not into rolling around. A lot of people think that, man. How many numerous guys you hear like, I'm not gonna roll around on the ground with another dude. It's like, yeah, dude, until you do it.
Yeah.
Until you do it, man. It's there's nothing more manly than that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's you versus him. That's, you know what I mean? But there's other stuff you can get into, man, like kickboxing. You can do Muay Thai, karate.
Or even if it's just strength training.
Strength training,
Or you set you up a punching bag at your home. Just
I got one.
Yeah,
It's
do
because
some-
I have anger issues.
You'll do something. You'll create a healthier lifestyle. Somebody else will see that you're doing that. Maybe the changes that you've made, and then
Small
you can make a
changes.
significant impact on their lives. What you guys are doing here, you're doing your MMA, you're doing this podcast. I mean, people out there should see that hey, we're trying to do something. We're trying to be a part of the solution, not contribute to the ever-growing problem.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So-
That's the one thing that dogs on me, and we've had this conversation a million times, and I could have it 1,020 times if I really wanted to, because it never gets old. But yeah, it's the small things like this, man. Like,
It is.
There might be. I got a little bit of a bad mouth, so I'm hoping maybe there's a parental advisory on here. But you know what I'm saying? But like, there might be a kid in middle school that watches this podcast and is like, dude, this dude came out of Scipio, and all he had to do, like, he wrestled, man, and he started jiu-jitsu, and look where he's at.
Yeah.
That's why I like to say Jennings County Wrestling on here all the time, man. It's a program that I would like to keep building up, and I'm hoping that. And I go and see kids, and I also train kids at jiu-jitsu, and there's nothing more rewarding than seeing those kids learn those moves, because later on in life, maybe those kids try to chase that dream one day, and you're going to see the moves that they've taught you.
Yeah.
I,
Or not necessarally that, man. It might come to a life or death situation.
Yeah,
It might be
exactly.
a self-defense situation.
Yeah.
You're like, guess what, dude? You're going to stop breathing. You know what I'm saying? But that's why law enforcement trains it. You know what I mean? That dude, they're out there and day job out, and that's their job. And trust me, around here I've seen what they deal with.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean? So wrestling a guy down to the ground and being able to control him or her
Very important.
is very important.
It is.
That could be a life or death situation.
Very important.
So,
And I just hope to reach out to those kids that, that think it's over after wrestling, man. Because that was my biggest thing. After high school, I thought, what is there to life now? Like, I wasn't
you're
wrestling.
lost,
I was
man.
lost.
Yeah.
So it's not over, man. There's other things out there that can help. And even if it's not, physical, man, there's other things to get into that help out the community, to get people's names out there, like this right here, the podcast.
Yeah.
Michael Crawford's going to come get his cameras in here. He's very good at production.
shout out Michael Crawford. Thank you so
Very
much
good
for
production.
it all, because
It's helping people out. It's getting people involved, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's real cool, and I just hope it keeps building, man. And even if I don't win, I still would like to build up this community in any way possible I can. I'll be back out in the cage to prove that you don't give up still,
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man. The like we said earlier, man. There's really no losing, because you're either gonna win or you're gonna learn.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I'm gonna
it counts
fight
as an
always.
L on a record, but does it really? Like, you just learned. People look at records and be like, oh, he's got a losing record. It's like, nah, he just learned a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, he knows, or she knows.
Got something to work on.
Yeah, exactly, man. And win or lose, dude, you're gonna have support. I
Yeah.
mean, and I've always said this, man. Just to even step through that threshold of the cage door,
Yeah.
huge nuts.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like, 'cause,
yeah.
dude, there's nothing more than that. Like,
Yeah.
me and him
Yeah.
are gonna go into this cage,
Simulate murder.
and it's essentially, yes, legally.
Illegal.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Under
illegally, but-
supervision.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, man, and it's just crazy, and I condone you for it. I really do.
Thank you.
It's an inspiration. Everything that you're doing, in my eyes, is an inspiration. I'm just glad to be a part of it. And I know everybody out here that's watching this, they're diehard fans, man. I've been getting asked. I've been numerous messages. When's that podcast? When's that podcast? When's that? It's like, what? It's now.
Me too.
But
I've had people
for all
try to
you
call
that's-
me and ask for the big news. It's like, you're going to have to wait.
Yeah.
You're
So
not going to want to miss this one.
not gonna want to miss it, man. I'm super stoked. So guys, we're gonna try to wrap this up. We don't want to bore everybody. We don't get into it. I don't know how long we're into this, but it's been so good. But
It has.
June 25th
June 25th.
in Louisville, and you can find all that information. You can get a hold of anybody here at this table
Absolutely.
right now. We'll set you right. If you're trying to order the pay-per-view and you need help, please get a hold of myself. I mean, you might be able to help, maybe not. He's got other things to do because we're watching him. But you can get a hold of myself. I will walk you through how to do it. It's not super confusing. It's just a tad bit, but I've got it mastered, so I can walk you through how to do that and make sure that you give him the recognition that he needs and help him as much as we can. And guys, get your tickets because they're going fast, and they're gonna go fast because I've got a huge fan base, man, and they're doing big things. So June 25th, Louisville. Make sure you get your guys' tickets. And if you're not getting it, they're going to have it at the Garage in Columbus. At phenomenal bar, phenomenal food, great place to be, great atmosphere. Probably one of the best atmospheres to watch a fight is at a bar. I will tell you that.
Yes, sir.
And then, I'm going to be going. If anybody would like to carpool with me, I'd be glad to help you, or you can follow, whatever. Just make sure you get your tickets. And Jordan, I can't wait.
Man.
I really can't wait. Butch, I can't wait.
I
I'm
can't
super
wait either.
excited.
It's
I know
fun.
you guys are laser focused. But
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's about 5 weeks now, I think.
5
right?
weeks now, we're
Yeah.
going to start training. I mean, we've been training harder than ever, and it's just going to keep progressing. Thank you all to watching and support, man. This is all for you. I couldn't do it without you guys, man. And just thanks for the fan base. We're really showing them that Jenks County's there, and that we do have a lot of people there to support each other, and we're going to keep supporting this community, and hopefully just keep the train going.
Yes,
I'm going
sir.
to keep
Yes,
focused
sir.
right now. We're going to just keep training, keep everything going till that fight. So if you don't hear from me, you know what I'm doing, man. I'm training.
Leave them alone.
June 25th, y'all. I hope to impress, and they better keep that belt away from me because it's coming home with me.
Nah, it's going to come with you one way or another.
Oh yeah, big fight, guys.
Big fight. So make sure you guys get your tickets, like I said. And I want to appreciate, I thank you guys very much
Thanks
for
for
coming
having
on.
us.
And,
It's been great.
And I hope everyone likes the new studio. I've
Love it.
put
It's
this
nice.
together in a week, so I can't believe I did it. But yeah, huge shout out to my buddy Jedediah McCrory, man, for hooking me up with the place. And
Thank you.
I just can't thank him enough. And I can't thank these guys enough for coming on. And I'm supporting their dream while they're supporting mine.
Yes,
This is what I wanted to do. I don't ever ask for anything. I don't ask for no sponsors. I don't ask for no kickback. The only thing I do is try to help everybody else.
Thank you.
And I think more people need to do things like this, and maybe we'll slowly start seeing some
yeah.
change, man.
Absolutely.
Because the world's full of negativity right now. So be something positive. That's my message, my motto. And you're seeing it right here, man. This is an inspiration to see that anything that you put your mind to is very doable. So, and I want a poster. But that's going to wrap it up for us, guys. So, appreciate everybody tuning in and watching. This has been another episode of Pub Talk with the Scipio Savage himself and the corner man and his father, Mr. Butch Gass. So, appreciate everyone watching, and I hope everyone has a phenomenal weekend coming up, and hope everyone can make it out to the fight on the 25th. Awesome. And if you can't, I sure hope everyone at least donates to this boy right here and help build his dream. So,
Thank you.
We thank everybody for listening, and that'll be it for this one.